how do I put it? It was like, what do you care about them? What do you care about those people? What difference does it make to you? Take care of your own life. Do the best you can for you and your family. What do the rest of the people mean to you? They don't mean anything to you. They're just serfs. They're just people. You know, what's the end goal? The end goal is to get everybody chipped, to control the whole society. They want a one-world government controlled by them. Everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip.
One, two. Welcome back, intrepid journeyers of the rabbit hole apocalypse. It's Rise Above. How you doing, Andy PG?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
Well,
not too bad.
114 people tuned in right at the start.
Oh my God, we're back again.
Little less than last week. 914 was our fucking record last week.
Last week. Yeah, we're still dealing with the aftermath of last week. Big shout to any of our new viewers that might have come over across from their first dip into Rise Above last week.
I hope they've been checking out the previous content to understand what we talk about here.
A lot of people have been going back into the previous content. Don't worry about that. Let's start sharing the screen straight away. So it's Friday night. Who have we got tuned in here? We've got Lord Dubesworth, Emma Bridges, Bath Northwest. Big shout to Sam Carno, DJ Don Shady, Rachel McCaskill, and all the rest of the crew and everybody else tuned in. Welcome back, family. It's Rise Above. So tonight we have got back in a little while, in about 15, 20 minutes, Sikh 101. Do you remember last time, Andy PG?
Freemasonic
defector.
Yeah, defector.
So I've got to be real. Last time we had him for a little short while, and he told us about his past in the Freemasons, which is what everyone really wanted to hear more. Tonight he's going to do a presentation about the Sikh faith, which is something I know very little about, and I'm quite looking forward to that. And I'm sure after that I'm going to wrangle out some more information about when he was a Freemason, because I know that's what people want to hear about as well. So big shout to Tej Powell, who is waiting in the wings. Oh, shout to Saba as well. Southampton crew tuned in. Okay, so it's Rise Above. Last week, yes, Jason Archaics. Wow.
Mate, my brain nearly exploded from the info last week.
It was record amounts of rabbit being splashed all over the place.
It's like a full taster menu.
The final boss at the bottom of the rabbit hole didn't disappoint. A bit of a divisive character, nevertheless. I will be commenting on some of the stuff that went on around last week's show in next week's customer services. I think we need to comment on it. Yeah. We always bring up. We always critique our own work.
That's what we do customer services for.
Yeah. So just to let you know, next week is actually like a real special customer services. If you're not new to Rise Above, you know we had customer services only 2 episodes ago, but the thing is, it was so good.
Yeah, we like them.
Yeah, we need to, listen, we like interacting with you guys. We like to be interactive. And next week, it will have it the night before Christmas Eve on Friday, the 23rd of December.
The night before Christmas.
It's the Rise Above TV, episode 87, Customer Services, Midnight Ras. You know, like Midnight Mass?
Yeah. Just run us through this thumbnail.
This is going to piss some people off. So we've got...
only the Christian community.
Yeah. Mark probably won't like this either. We've got... This is the final supper. Obviously, I'm sat there in the place of Yeshua. And, you know, we've got loads of the team there and some other sort of well-known faces. But for anyone that's new to Rise Above, this is where we get interactive with you guys. We want to hear from you. We want you to call in. And we go through emails, comments, and we try to get a bit more interactive. It's customer services.
Is this Grandmaster Ginny at the front here?
Yeah, he's conducting the show.
He's
conducting the show. So I need to let you know that we've got a whole host of new edited material dropping on the second channel very soon. In fact, during this week. Please don't sleep on the second channel. There's so much good edited material on there. And this is the stuff that's better for sharing out to your friends and family because it's in more bite-sized material.
Yeah, if you're trying to get yourself banned on social media, this is what you want to be sharing, just those little short snippets.
Yeah, absolutely. It's easier to get to ram down a normie's throat, I find, rather than a 6-hour stream. Okay, right. So I don't know if anyone else caught Inner Guardian's live stream, which was on at 7 o'clock tonight. New viewers, you might not know who Inner Guardians is. Lee, he's been with us for the last 2 years. Basically, I want to congratulate Lee on his sort of move forward to concentrate on his own channel. We've been very lucky to have Inner Guardians as part of the panel for like over 2 years. He did almost like 50 shows in a row.
That's right.
And I feel like in a way we all got a bit complacent with having Lee just on the panel every week. Going forward, please don't think that he's abandoning Rise Above. I'm still going to have some midweek chats with Lee now and again. And when we invite him back on a Friday night, rather than have him on the panel getting elbow deep in rabbit mukbang every week, maybe we'll have him come on to do like a more focused presentation.
Yeah, sure.
I think we'll probably get more out of Inner Guardians that way, you know, a bit more focused work, because, you know, we get quite crazy on a Friday night. It gets quite hectic. We have all different types of guests on, and Lee's a teacher at the end of the day. He's not really a pundit. So I think this is a fantastic move for Lee and Inner Guardians. I'm really looking forward to some of the new projects he's going to be doing on his own channel, where he's going to be going a lot deeper. You know, we're all here to fulfill different parts of this process.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think, you know, this is a great move. So I'm really, really happy for Lee. You know, I'm still in a daily discourse with my sensei, so don't think he's abandoned us or anything like that. Like I say, we will be working with Inner Guardians a lot in 2023. But Master Lee came from the shadows at the end of 2020. He came forth. He gave some information. Back to the shadows he must return. Okay, so we wish all the best for Inner Guardians, and we'll look forward to some more collaborations next year. A word from our sponsors. Now, listen, new people to Rise Above.
Pass the route, mate.
No, mate, we've run out.
Oh, what?
No, listen, we've run out. Basically, this stuff sells so well. Roots Brands products, they sell so well that I can't actually even get any at the moment. New people to Rise Above. I need to let you know. He said, "Oh, you shouldn't sell things on a channel that tells the truth." Listen, we happen to tell the truth. This is a media platform. It's a media station.
Yeah.
We do many different things.
Plus, it's our show. We can do what the fuck we like.
Yeah, and by the way, in case you hadn't noticed, our production values just slightly higher than your average YouTuber. So we never ask for donations. Rise Above will always and has always been free, but we're partnered with this health food company, and as you probably know, we also sell merchandise. So we're going to speak about that very, very quickly, because I don't want to take it up too long. Big shout out to Mark Bajerski. Hello there. Right, Rise Above Rapparel, we've got some massive new releases. As you know, I've done Christmas cards. We've got Christmas jumpers. Probably a little bit late to be ordering those now. If you're ordering them right now, you might get these for Christmas. But we've got some very, very interesting new releases. These are available right now. A whole new range of Rise Above.
I reckon Spitter's already
tracksuits.
making a music video wearing this tracksuit.
Spitter's already ready to order some of these. Listen, if you like tracksuits, we've got the dopest tracksuits in the game. And we don't just do this to fund our station. As you know, Andy PG, this is also about getting our symbols out there. We know here at Rise Above how powerful symbols are. So every time we sell a piece of merchandise and that's worn out in the realm, we are radiating.
That's one away from Adidas and Nike.
Exactly. So we've got this range here. This is the original range on some hoodies with the matching tracksuits. We've also got the brand new luxury Rapparel range. Okay, these are new garments. This is the cross-neck hoodie with the tapered track pants, totally matching. This is the new Rapparel range, available right now. We also have it in blue, matching t-shirts as well. What are you saying about these styles, Andy PG?
I like the green, mate.
Yeah, very nice indeed. These are available right now on www.riseabove.tv/shop. We've also got varsity jackets. Holy shit, we are
Nice.
spoiling you people. Matching tracksuit bottoms to go with these as well. Okay. And there's even a Rapparel design on this. We've remixed.
Got a lot going on here.
Yeah,
haven't we?
listen,
Fucking
mate.
hell.
I've got an absolute tidal wave of releases ready to go. And every time you wear one of these out in the realm, you are radiating above Vrisian magic outwards from your inner magnetic center. And I'll tell you what, when you wear a piece of Rise Above merchandise out in the realm and someone recognizes that you're wearing Rise Above, imagine that instant connection you make with someone when they've seen this show as
You don't
well.
even have to say anything.
Right back now, I'm sporting the Capes Geisha sweater design. This is available on the website right now as well.
I'm actually in a raw treat.
Oh, you've got the
t-shirt.
staff t-shirt from
Raw
Raw Treat. This is the free.
t-shirt, I'm sorry.
This is the free t-shirt that all our staff members that.
There's only a few of these in circulation. These are highly occulted.
Exactly 33.
There you go. One of 33.
Oh, cider just went up my nose. That was very
Nice,
good.
mate.
Okay. So, and in case, again, if you are new to Rise Above, you may not know, I hand draw all the designs on the T-shirts. This is the new one I'm working on. It's called the right. We know obviously the Ouroboros. We've been talking about simulation theory, the Gnostics, the Demiurge. We know what the Ouroboros is. Do you know about the Ouroboros rabbit?
I do now.
You do now. So on the right, this is my latest drawing. Did this on my tablet after last week's show. Jason basically inspired me to make this drawing. So basically, this will be available on a T-shirt or a hoodie or a jumper very, very soon. Okay? Right, now.
I've seen this shit. Yeah.
Well,
Let's get this out of the way.
Let's get this out of the way. 5 more minutes, we've got our guest on, right? But this is something I need to get out of the way. After last week's show, we had record viewing figures.
914 was the top count, I think.
The overall views of that show has now gone over 14,000. It's probably going to hit 15,000. That's our most viewed show ever. Before our top was 12k, right?
Yeah.
So,
mate, that's a lot.
Last week we caused a ripple in the simulacrum. AIX must have been alerted to what happened last week because it certainly responded. And any of you lot, any archaics lot, you'll appreciate this. After last week's show, our record viewing figures, this sprung up. A counterfeit Rise Above.
Who the fuck is this Avi Javari?
So not only is it called Rise Above, it's
Avi
a podcast.
Jaffa Cake.
The guy looks like me. He's got the same fucking beard. He's got the same hair as me. Right, what's his name? Avi Javari. Doesn't that sound a bit like Avi Yemeni? You know who Avi Yemeni is? The Greek Cypriot Jewish right-wing reporter who also is anti-lockdown?
I'm surprised he hasn't got 3s for the E's.
So what I'm saying is this a coincidence that this imposter has basically appeared with a sponsored ad on my own Facebook timeline? I looked on their podcast. They're just waffling about nothing. High production. More money has gone into it than this. And they've got fuck all views. Is this like... Is this,
He's hijacking our shit.
It's almost like this has been put there, so if someone searches Rise Above, they go to this gimp instead of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Avi, if you're a genuine, real person, I'm really sorry, but
Avi, come on the show. We'll invite you to ring in next week for customer services.
And here on the right-hand side, you know JD, our good friend?
Yeah, of course.
Right, so his outfit, truth be told, right?
Yep.
Well, look, someone's copied him as well. Like, I've been chatting to JD all week, and we've actually got a competition coming up right now I'm going to tell you about. So someone has ripped off JD's Truth Be Told, but the good thing is they're actually going around to like Britney people that injured by Britney's beers. Right. So they're doing good work. All I've got is some vacuous like
Succubus.
Influencer life coach gimp. Like, what an insult.
Is that what it is? He's a life coach?
Yeah, basically the podcast is just about making money and being successful in the material world. Not really about rising above at all. Okay, so speaking of JD, we love JD around here, absolute soldier. So if anyone's not familiar with this character, he's one of our affiliates. He's an artist, a rapper, a truth teller.
A badass.
A all-round badass. He's a youth worker. He's an activist. He's got a new album coming out called The Journey Within. So we're going to run a competition to support JD. He is heavily, heavily, heavily censored by Al Gore and the Coviet Union. So we're going to give him a hand to get this album out there. Oh yeah, you've just noticed a mistake on my thing, haven't you?
Glitch in the simulacrum there.
Right, let me just sort that out. Get rid of that. Okay, right. So here is the competition, and I'll just get back down to it again. How unprofessional of me. Right.
So right, this is live, man. This is what
live.
happens.
This is how we do live. So JD has got his album, The Journey Within, coming out on the 21st of December. He is going to do a massive giveaway. The prizes include Truth Be Told T-shirt, as modelled by one of his models here. You will also get a gigabyte memory stick of JD's 9 albums.
Wow.
This is an amazing giveaway, guys.
Full library.
Yes, you get 9 albums worth of MP3s. You get a handcrafted original Orgonite Ankh Pendant made by JD, which looks like one of these ones here. And you get a memory stick with JD's new album, The Journey Within, which will be released on Bandcamp, jdbandcamp.com, 21st December. Now, all of these details are in the description of the show. This is how you enter the competition. You subscribe to Truth Be Told on YouTube, which is his YouTube channel. You screenshot it. You share the no stress video with a direct message to a friend, and you screenshot that. Then you name the most important thing you've learned from Rise Above. And we're looking for the best New Year's resolution that will help bring down Lord Schwab and the Coviet Union. So he's asking for quite a lot there.
That's a lot.
You're going to win a lot.
Yeah.
The brand new album, 9
That's
albums
like hours
worth.
and hours of music.
Merchandise T-shirt, one of his handmade onks. This is an amazing giveaway. So big shout out to JD and anyone that wants to enter this competition. This is how you do it. You subscribe, you screenshot, you share. All of these details are in the description, and we will be announcing the winner on next week's customer services. And you'll be winning all of this. JD's going to call in, and he's going to announce the winner on next week's customer services. Big shout to James, who's just ordered the Raparel top.
As
Thank you
usual,
very
guys,
much.
I'll be monitoring the emails. If you want to buy some merch, I'll give you a shout out on the show.
Yeah. So, and here is JD sporting his Rise Above t-shirt at the shop with one of his
In the fruit and veg section there.
Imagine if I'm rolling into this guy out in the fruit and veg shop and he's got his Rise Above t-shirt on bright red with his big pendant on, pumping out positive energy. Massive shout to JD. Okay, so that's our usual business where we normally start off the show. We've always got some stuff like that to go through, and you know I'm catering for our new viewers here. I know we've got some new viewers left over from last week. Right, our guest tonight, Sikh 101. He has been on the show before. Last time he came on the show, it was a bit of a whistle-stop tour. And basically, he only came on for like an hour. Get your camera on to show me that you're ready, Tejpal. He only came on for about an hour, and he talks about his time in the Freemasons, which I know people want to hear more about. But he's also going to be doing a presentation tonight about the faith that he went back into when he left this sort of secret society network and he got into the Sikh faith. It's a faith I know very little about. So I'm really interested to hear about it.
Secret Society.
Secret Society. Okay, so let's welcome Tejpal, Sikh 101. And we've got him on the camera, and I'm just going to call him to get some audio as well. Let's get this all working.
To messaging service.
It goes
The
to...
person you-
Right, Tejpal, I just tried to call you. It went through to the messaging service. Here he goes. He's calling me now. Welcome to Rise Above, brother.
Hey, Lance, how are you?
I'm very good, but we do have a little echo. That will be sorted out very quickly. Welcome back. It's been a little while since we spoke to you last.
Yeah, good to be back.
Can you turn your speakers off there? Because we're getting a little bit of a... We're getting
About speaker.
we're getting a little bit of an echo.
1 second.
What is that in the background? Is that some kind of swords?
Yeah. Sikhs have swords, don't
Nice.
they? So it's a sword.
How's that?
Yeah, that's fine, mate. That's all good. Welcome back to Rise Above. Sikh
Thank you.
101, Tejpal. It's great to have you back, dude.
Good to be back.
Do you know
How
what?
are you, boys?
We're great, mate. Since the last time you came on, we've had such good, positive feedback about, you know, of all our guests, we have these big YouTubers, we have authors, but you came on and you just told your story, essentially, and it really captivated people, mate. So
Yeah,
everyone wanted you back.
Welcome. I love everyone, you know. Hello, Rise Above family. I love you all. Thank you for all the nice, kind words that were being sent to me as well. Overwhelmed. Feel humbled, actually. But yeah, good to be back.
So you told us last time in a short whistle-stop tour, pretty much, you know, about your story in general. We do have some new viewers from last time. Can you just give a quick recap of some of the, you know, just a little 5 minutes about, you know, where you've come from and how you've got to where you are now before you start your presentation?
Oh, yeah, sure. I was born into a Sikh family in Kenya. Came here into the UK when I was 8 years old, back in 1975. You know, did the normal things, schooling and all that, college, the teenage years as you go through. Gradually got married first time when I was young. Then what happened is my attention turned to Sikhi. So I got into Sikhi. By this time, me and my wife were already apart anyway. And then going back to 2001, that's when I initiated into the Sikh culture properly. And I took Amrit, which is, I know the Vatican basically, they name it as a baptism, but it's not. It's not baptism, it's a purification of your soul. So I took that and, things turned around for me. Carried on till around about 2007, 2005, 2006. I was doing okay. I was approached by a few people where I was working about being a Mason and everything. I didn't know nothing about it. What they said is, because you're a successful guy, if you join the Masons, you'll be able to go further in your life. So that appealed to me because obviously I was asleep, like most people at that time. So I joined up around about 2008, stayed in there till about end of 2011. Turning 2012 is when things didn't seem right because of a lot of the things that we were doing. They were putting a lot of work on me, calling me into lodges to fill in for different officers that weren't making it that day, to temporarily fill in for their officer duties in the lodge. So it carried on and it carried on. What happened is it put pressure on my second marriage as well, and that dissolved. So come around about 2012, I decided to walk away because I wasn't feeling good about it. And internally, like I said last time, I was changing as a person. And a lot of my friends that were quite close to me started noticing those things because I used to be, before that, quite helpful, just help whenever I can with whatever I have. And basically, so I was following the Sikh Maryada, basically the Sikh routine, and how we have to do seva, which means service to humanity. And then obviously that clicked in my head that something's not right. So I decided to walk away. The way I walked away is they weren't letting me go. So come the end of 2011, they always have these fees that you have to pay, membership fees.
Right.
In the lodge. And one of their main criteria is there are two things you never do. You never basically, you have to pay your tailor and you have to pay your mason's fees. I don't know where that comes from.
So you have to pay your tailor?
Yeah.
What, the person that makes your apron?
Yeah. So people like in Baker Street and everything, all them high-class suit manufacturers or sellers, they're all in the same club. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in business.
Sure.
In such a high prestige.
So it's like the black market of like dark occult aprons, yeah?
What happens is everyone goes to one place, and what you'll get is one mason will tell the other mason, this is where I got my stuff from. So they develop close relations with business owners. And that way they get in there and they start taking people that they feel will be helpful to their cause. So anyway, I walked out 2012. I didn't pay the fees. And they sent me a few warnings, a couple of telephone calls and all that. I refused to even talk to them. And then I just had a letter saying your masonry membership had been terminated. I was quite happy, because I didn't know which other way I could get out. Because I was getting a lot of people telling me who I was speaking to, who were masons anyway, but they were more human than the higher ones, yeah. So they were saying to me, you can't walk away from masonry once you're in there. But then I thought, okay, fine, let's see how it goes. And then somebody told me a couple of months down the road that they do not tolerate their membership fees not being paid. So that's what I did, and they kicked me out, which was the best thing ever happened to me.
And so this was all around 2012.
This was beginning of 2012, yeah. And going into 2012, obviously, big changes. I think a lot of people felt that something happened in 2012.
We just had a comment on the screen that someone said 2012 seems to be a recurring theme that people I haven't noticed, even if they were awake before, they made a change or they noticed a shift.
I got a Freemason sign. There you go. Anyway, so what it is, whilst I was in there from about 2010 all the way through 2010 and 2011 when I was still in there, they were doing a collection for the year 2012. Now, I don't know what it was about, and it seemed quite weird to me because in 2012, even the space shuttle program was shut down. and a lot of things happened. So there was something that genuinely happened in 2012, which I'm still trying to figure out myself. But for me, my life changed. It went downhill because when I came out of the Masons, a lot of my stuff was blocked. Emails were getting hacked and all sorts. Work was not getting there. So yeah, I was struggling. And not only that, I basically became an alcoholic as well. I was drinking more than I was doing anything else. And that was not like me because I've always been into sports all my life. And with that, one thing led to another. And I'm coming around about 2014, end of 2014, I was getting quite bad physically. I lost weight and everything. Decided to go to the doctors to get a checkup. They did a blood test and I was diabetic, type 2. And that shocked me completely. That's when I decided, I had quite a moment to myself, like week out, 2 weeks out to myself. And I changed. It was a hard job, hard work, but I managed to come over it and come out of it. Stopped drinking and got my health back. Coming up, obviously, things were getting worse and worse for me physically because all the doctor was doing was prescribing me medicine. Glycoside, 80 milligrams, and it went to 120 milligrams. And I sort of felt that my bones, my skin started shedding, my bones were aching. I was constantly in pain, and I couldn't live like that. And like I described last time, the only thing I could do one day was put on the YouTube video on my computer. And as I put it on, the first one that came up was Dave Murphy. Shout out to Dave Murphy, by the way. It was all about urine therapy and distilled water. I watched it.
Is that allegedly Dave?
Allegedly Dave, yeah.
The gent that also talks about the nature of the realm as well.
Everything.
The black guy, yeah? Right.
Yeah.
I've seen him. He's awesome. I want to speak to him.
Yeah, I think he will.
Right.
Because I'm in touch with him now and again. Yeah, so I'm sure you will get in touch with him.
He's the most makes sense flat Earth enthusiast I've ever come across.
He's full of knowledge, and whatever he says, if you go back and check it out yourself, it is right. So he's not just making stuff up, and that's what really got me about him. And I listened to what he was saying. So yeah, coming up to the video, I watched it, and I thought, nah, man, you can't be drinking your piss. You can't do that. But my state of my health was quite bad by that time. So for some reason, something kept plugging me and dragging me back to that video. And I watched it again properly, the urine therapy, plus another one that was next to it, which was like distilled water. So I watched them. I gave it a thought, and I thought, okay, I'll have to have a think about it. But one of the nights, as I was sick, a few days later actually, in my sleep, whether it was a dream, I don't know what it was, or somebody really speaking to me, I could hear my granddad sort of speaking to me, and it was related to urine therapy and cannabis and everything. And I think my memory went shot back to when I was in Kenya when I was young, and because in them days in 74, 75, in Kenya, it's a rural place. There's no tallies or anything. It's only communities that got together. So being as a young child, I was always sitting within adults. And they were talking things, like farming and things like that. And I remember them talking about cannabis as well and urine therapy. And that memory came back to me. So the following day when I got up, the first thing I did was obviously the first wee-wee of the morning. I filled a glass and I thought, okay. I took a deep breath and I just necked it.
Did you let it cool down first, or did you have it body temperature?
Maybe you had it on ice.
Yeah, it was
on the rocks.
Mate, I hate to be a snob, but if I was ever going to try this, I'd have to put it on ice. I could not
You know-
drink something that was body temperature. My gag reflex is very sensitive. I'll be like, what?
Yeah, you get used to it, and eventually, the more you do looping, and the more you drink, your urine becomes better tasting, and eventually it will become like coconut water, and and it's really beneficial for your health, obviously.
We got someone on the
yeah.
screen right now. I've been drinking my urine for over 3 years and never felt better. The Conscious
There you
Living
go.
Gateway.
It's really enlightening, this therapy. So I necked it. I wanted to puke, but I held it in. About 20 minutes later, half an hour later, because I was really bad with the glycoside tablets that I was having. My eyesight had blurs in there and things like that. Obviously, my skin was shedding like I was a snake.
Wait, hold on. Slow down. Your skin was shedding.
Yeah.
Wait.
My skin.
How long after your first glass of piss did your skin shed?
No, not much. That was before.
Because of the pharmaceuticals.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Right, okay, sorry. I thought, mate,
because
sorry, I
of-
got mixed up there. I thought that was a result of drinking piss.
No, because of the glycoside tablets, they're awful for your body. What they do, they attack your kidneys and break your organs down eventually. So anyway, I had that, and 20 minutes later, half an hour later, my vision cleared up. I felt energy, and I thought, hey, there's something here. So I carried this therapy on for about 2 months after that, and I was feeling great, absolutely great. Then I went back to the doctors because they sent me an invitation letter to go to the hospital to have a blood test to get my kidneys checked, because previous tests that I had 3 months before showed that I was quite bad. So I went back, went into the hospital. They did the blood test, sent the results to the doctor, and I went back 2 weeks later to see the diabetic nurse, and she was just sitting there and she was going, "Tajpal, I can't believe this." And she was reading the note. She goes, "Really?" I said, "What's the matter?" And I was feeling great. She goes, "Your blood is clear. There's no sugars. Everything's normal. And your kidneys from last time have just got better." I said, "What's happened? What are you doing?" I said, "I don't want to tell you." So basically that's what happened. And I've never been back to the doctor since.
She probably wouldn't have believed you even if you did tell her.
Exactly. Actually, to be honest with you, she did ring me a few times after that, asking me what I did. Because obviously, whilst I was with her at the surgery, she asked me what I did. I said, "Well, I ordered some dry camel milk from Holland, and I've been drinking that." And she kept asking me about that all the time. And she said, "Tajpal, the senior head diabetic doctor in the West Midlands, he would like to talk to you." And I thought, okay, he wants to talk to me. And I got his name. She gave me his name and everything. So I said, okay, give me a couple of days. I'm busy. I'll come back to you. And I want to check up who this guy is. And obviously he works for the NHS, but he's also had a private surgery in Harley Street for kidney specialists. Yeah. So I thought to myself, oh, right. So he wants to know what I've done so he could do something, the same thing, and maybe charges the clients even more money, because a kidney transplant at the moment is about £20,000 to £100,000, depending on how.
It's only $10,000 in China.
Are they still kidneys though?
We can get them down a back alley for $200.
No. In China, you can get any organ you want directly from a Uyghur that's in a concentration camp for $10,000.
Nice.
And it's still warm.
Oh dear.
Sorry, that's so dark. This is Rise Above, everyone.
So, and then she rang me back again a couple of days later, and I quizzed her. I said, this so-and-so doctor, does he also have a private practice in Harley Street? She went quiet. I said, you don't have to lie and not talk about it, because I've already done the checks and I've done my due diligence. So I said, the reason he probably wants to see me is because he wants to know what I did so he could do similar but charge his client excess money. Yeah. And she went quiet, and she said, "No, Tejpal, that doesn't work like that. He's an honest person." So I blanked it. I said, "Sorry, I don't want to see him. I've got no interest at all to meet him at all." So I left it at that, and that's what it's been ever since. I've been good.
Well, like I said to you last time that you mentioned this, it's not the first time that I've had someone that I really, have respect for tell me that I need to start drinking my own urine. Toroidal Dynamics, Sam, one of my good friends who I went to stay out with in Mexico, who's come on the show, and he was at Ra Treat doing his, and he gave me that insight into Santos Bonacci. I know this guy. He was telling me, you need to start drinking your own piss, Lance. And I was like,
Exactly.
Sam, I don't know if I can. You have to imagine. You've done. It's a big barrier, right? It's a big barrier. And please, everyone that's watching, please don't think I'm going to start advocating that everyone drinks their piss. We have everyone at the table here at Rise Above.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what it's like. But yeah,
you can mix it with like fresh orange juice,
spritzer.
And it really does work because I passed this knowledge on to a few other of my friends, close friends, and they're okay with it. I mean, the first time I think the second or third day after I first started, there was a friend of mine who came round, and I told him.
Did you pull a jug out the fridge?
here's one of my fine vintages. The bouquet on this one is beautiful.
I was telling him, I don't need the tablets and glycoside, all that crap. And he laughed at me. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm drinking my own pee." And he laughed at me. He couldn't believe it. So I went into the bathroom and I filled half a cup. I came back out and I showed it to him. I said, "Yeah, you can touch the glass. You see it's warm." And he did, and I knocked it back right in front of him, and he nearly puked up. But that was a long time ago, and now he's an advocate of that as well.
Oh, mate, my gag reflex is so sensitive. I used to be at a state where people that knew what my gag reflex was like, would start telling me a disgusting story just to make me puke. People could make me puke just by telling me something. Yeah, I don't know. First once you get over the first sip.
You could shot it, Lance.
Prosecco. I tell you what, Tejpal, in the last 5 minutes, the comment section has gone absolutely nuts. It was like an AK-47 at one point. Everyone's just busting piss jokes.
No, I know. Aren't they?
Rise Above family's loving this.
They're all taking the piss.
Yeah, they're absolutely taking the piss.
Oh, good. They should do. And the other thing I noticed once I started doing the urine therapy is because in summer, before I started doing that, I used to suffer badly with hay fever, yeah? Come end of May, I was like dead. Come June time, my eyes used to be swollen up. I used to have sore throat. I couldn't do anything. But I noticed once I started doing the urine therapy, that particular summer, 2015, one day I just went out for a walk around about mid-May, and it was nice sunny weather. And I didn't realize, but I was actually walking through a park, which I couldn't do 6 months prior without being absolutely battered by the pollen. Nothing happened to me, and touch wood, since then, no problem. No hay fever,
so
nothing.
even like your immune system,
it builds up. Yeah, it builds up, definitely. You get more strength, you get more energy, you start thinking clearly. It just calms you down as well. So if anybody with anger issues, things like that, I would suggest go for urine therapy, at least a little bit at a time, and increase the volume, yeah? It will help. It really, really, really will help. Because I used to be a really angry guy, seriously.
Here, have a pint of urine to calm you down. My old man's an ex Royal Marines commando, and I remember him vividly telling me, he's like, if things ever turn bad and someone's been stabbed or they've got a big gaping open wound and they're bleeding out, first thing you do, whip your cock out, piss in the wound. And I was like, what? He always used to tell me stuff like this.
Yeah. Survival, mate.
if you want to break a man's skull, you punch them like this, just up their nose, so that punches their brain. Anyway, but he always said, piss into an open wound. It will, first of all, it will disinfect it. The enzymes will do this. So
let's say if you get stung by a jellyfish, you should piss on.
And it stops the bleeding. It really does help. And if you keep doing it for a few days after, keep using the urine on the wound, you will see that it will heal up quicker than normal. Plus, you'll get lovely, lovely skin coming over.
It's almost like we've got everything we need right here, but we've just been tricked into thinking that we need external products.
We are perfect. Perfect. We've been made, created perfectly. It's just that the indoctrination that's been given to us ever since we were young, and by all this nonsense and the parasites that are controlling everything, get us to think that, it's dirty product, it's dirty. But it's not. Urine is actually your filtered plasma. It's your white blood cell. And if you, I'm sure if you ask allegedly Dave, he'll tell you a lot more, because he's got a lot more knowledge than what I have with this subject, because he studied it more.
Yeah, I've seen Dave unleash on people, and he's unstoppable because he's so eloquent in the way he speaks, and he's very knowledgeable. I've seen him. This physicist, he destroyed him on Globe Earth. It was good.
Yeah, and not only that, if you see Dave from about 8 years ago, before he started UT, urine therapy, to what he is now, he looks a lot younger.
He actually started reversing his aging.
Benjamin Button style.
Yeah.
And for me, my skin was peeling because of the tablets I was taking. But once I started the UT, it just healed up. No problem.
Wow.
I feel we've gone into drinking urine a fair bit now.
No, we covered it last time. Right, let's move on to what happened to you after you left the secret society and you cleaned up your act and you detoxified. You found your faith again. Had you been a Sikh? Had you been into the Sikh faith before this? Is the first question I should ask.
Yeah, I went. Like I said, I went into the Sikh faith in 2001, and then round about 2007, just before that, my first marriage actually. Well, my second marriage. My first marriage broke up in 96, 97. The second marriage was on the rocks because of all the nonsense I had to do and all the extra curriculum, basically, they were putting on me. And it split me and my wife apart. So she'd come out to the end of the tether because I wasn't there. Things just went all over the place. And then obviously from 2007... till 2000, well, just say 2012 is when I was in the Masons, and after that is when things fell apart for me because I couldn't get access to anything. My bank accounts were closed. I couldn't get any contracts. Things were really difficult.
And you believe that's because you left the Masons?
Yeah, because they can put stops in your life.
So you paid the price then? It's not like you just walked away and you didn't pay your subscription fee. There were consequences.
I even got death threats, to be honest, a few times after that, which obviously didn't scare me. But yeah, they were pretty nasty. I was getting withheld numbers from all the time. And then it gradually stopped over time. But moving forward from 2008 to round about after the UT, 2015, 2016, 2017, I got back into my training. So I got into my boxing and everything else. So I started finding myself that I'm getting better. I was back on my feet. And then 2020 happened. Yeah, that's really, obviously, it had a massive effect on everyone. For me, it opened me up again. And for some reason, I was getting dragged back into my Sikh faith. So that's what I am now, since then. And I'm happy.
Do you think that it helped transition you away from the dark place that you were in and the aftermath of actually leaving the Masons?
Yeah, because when I was in the Masons, like I said last time, every time we were attending a lodge, they always give you something to recite, which is like an oldie worldy poem, writing or something, which we can't work out what the words mean, but the people who put this in place know what it means. And it started changing me from inside, being a mean bastard, basically. But since I've got back into my faith and the daily resuscitation of the prayers I have to do, the meditation, and it's sorted me out. I'm calm, a lot calmer, and nothing phases me now. I have no fear of nothing.
And do you still face any repercussions now to this day, or are you still feeling an echo of what happened before? How's that manifesting?
Well, personally, I've had family members being threatened now and again, and since the last time I was with you guys on Rise Above, again I've had like nasty messages coming through. But when I'm trying to try to find out who it is, it's a dead number. So I know for a fact that they're still chasing me, and they always will be. So
we're talking now 10 years post you leaving them.
Yeah.
You've got back into your faith. It's still happening. And you saying that since, I mean, how long ago did you come on? It's a number, 2 or 3 months, 3 or 4 months since you came on?
I think it was July. Wasn't it July?
5 months.
It was sometime.
So did you see a little resurgence after your appearance? Do you think it reignited it a little bit?
Yeah. Because about a week or 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, I kept getting like withheld numbers, drop calls, withheld numbers, and I was getting a number that I didn't recognize. So as I answered it, it was like somebody breathing down the phone. You know, it's like crazy. And I thought, okay, fine, carry on, because I'm open. Yeah, I'm an open book. You can see my phone number on Telegram. You can check me out on YouTube or whatever. I'm there. I don't hide anything. Facebook, I'm there. So I'm open. If they want to come and do something, bring it on.
Fearless, mate. That's what I love.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've got a present for them, just in case.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about this. What's the correct name for that blade in your faith?
That's a Karban. Yeah.
So this bladed article, that is actually an official sort of religious memorable. It's part of your faith. You guys are actually the only people that are permitted to carry a blade of that length in the UK.
Yeah, up to 3 foot we can carry.
So for anyone that's not a Sikh, in case you don't know, I believe that the length of a bladed article is either it's like 6 inches. Anything above 6 inches,
right?
Or this was the old. Maybe it's changed now since like a lot of the stabbings in the last few years. But it used to be a blade over a certain amount of inches was illegal to carry. I believe it was either 6 or 9. I think it was 6. But you're actually allowed to carry. It was 6. You're actually allowed to carry a blade of 3 foot.
Yeah, we are exempt from the Criminal Justices Act. Yeah, for carrying of offensive weapons, because as long as we are in the actual proper practicing Sikh. No problem. Up to 3 foot, we can actually wear.
Is it sharp?
I'm not saying.
But the point is, okay. Tell us what that means to a Sikh. What part of that? What role does that play within the structure of your faith?
Well, this was given to us. The power to carry this was given to us by our 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, when he created the Khalsa Panth back in 1699, and it's been like that ever since. So what it was, because in them days there was a lot of hostility against Sikhs and other cultures as well, and carrying swords and weapons was a normal thing. So it's been initiated ever since, and it carries on even today, and it will carry on even tomorrow and forever.
Wow. Okay. It's is it because you guys within the belief system you feel like you fulfill a protector role?
We are. That's what Sikhi is all about. It's about seva. Seva is a Punjabi word meaning service to humanity and mankind. So we're there for that. And these shastras, which are basically, shastras is the Punjabi word for weapon, yeah? These shastras are our personal things. We wear them, but we don't draw them out of anger. It's only there to fight oppression or for self-defense only. That's it. And once you become into the faith and you start reading the scriptures, you do become a calmer person and you understand why this is needed as well.
I mean, it's often said nowadays. I mean, I know Jordan Peterson is like a mainstream guy, but he's made a very famous quote recently, and I'm going to paraphrase it. It's something along like, a harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a man that is actually capable of violence and danger.
Yeah.
But he harnesses it and only uses it
as needed
and in the protective role. Basically, being harmless is no good at all. It's better to, as we've paraphrased with Master Lee before, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war zone. So
spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on.
So I think it's actually kind of beautiful that, you know, out of any faith, whether it's, you know, a hijab or a turban or whatever, you know, your guys, as well as the turban, a very important part is that. Could you pronounce it for me again? The saber.
It's called a Gamala.
No, the blade. What do you got? Chufta.
What this?
Yeah.
That's a kirpan. Yeah. Kirpan.
Kafan, right.
Yeah. Kirpan.
Kapan. What was the Punjabi word for weapon that you said a minute ago?
Shastar.
Shufta.
Shastar. Shastar.
I wonder if the word, the slang word in this country, shiv, comes from that. The you know, like a small DIY blade in prison, a shiv. It sounds like it comes from that.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. It's all related.
Yeah, I enjoy putting these. Like I say, Tejpal, before you're elucidating this to us right now. My understanding of Sikhism is literally this big. I know very little, so you know we're an open book here. When was this belief system founded? What year?
This first came into existence when our first guru came onto this realm back in 1469. Obviously, I'm going to do a little presentation on that.
Sure. Okay, I don't want to jump the gun. Sorry, I'm just I'm a sponge for this.
I can cover all that. Yeah, we'll cover all that through this presentation.
Yeah, mate. Whenever you're ready, let's get stuck in. And maybe after you've done the presentation, we'll talk about the dirty stuff about the Freemasons a little bit more. But I know you want to talk about it. You've got presentation. I've got video lined up. Let's get stuck into it. We're what are we? Yeah, an hour into the show. Let's get down to business, mate.
Okay. I need to share the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, you press share the screen, and we can control it from this end. Big shout out to everyone tuned in. It's Friday night. This is Rise Above.
Rise above, generate, rise above.
256 viewers.
Not bad, 256. We have our very special guest, Tejpal, Sikh 101. He is back with us tonight, and we're about to jump into a presentation. Oh, Toroidal Dynamics is in the chat. I was just talking about him. Good evening, Sam. See you there. We're just talking about looping. Not something I'm quite ready to try yet, but this is Rise Above. This is the rabbit table. We will talk about anything. We're going to have a presentation right now from Tejpal. After that, Omar Beats is out in the garden. He's doing some DIY building the human resources hut. We are going to have some mixing from him later on. I've got a miniature Clan World Schwab show, in case if we need to fill in or anything like that. How you doing with sharing the screen?
I've got over it. 1 second.
All right, let's have a little. Let's see who's tuned in. Jason Renix, I see you there. Auntie Coviet. Evolment. I see. You're new. I can see you there. Eye for an eye. Nigel Watson. Shivites Jagnath. You're new. I'd like to see you there as well. Hello. Welcome to Rise Above. Boom Shankar Lady. Welcome back. LFX Lord Doobsworth. Johnny Fogg. Send us some memes, mate. Rise and Shine. I see you there. Big shout out to everybody tuned in. I'll tell you what. While you're sorting that out, would you like me to? Are you ready to go? Would you like me to play a music video while you're sorting that out?
Hang on. Let me get the right screen on.
Okay.
Yeah. How's that?
I see it there. So if you change your screen to what you want to show people, so I don't show people the time tunnel.
Okay.
Right. So get your presentation up on the screen. Right. I can see that. So Tapal, I will get your presentation up on the screen now, and you take it away, mate. Let's have it.
Okay. It's all there, yeah?
Yeah, it's all there. You control the slides. I control what everyone else sees. So yeah, you go for it, mate, and you go through your slides. Sikh 101.
Okay. There we go. Presentation about Sikh. Just a brief outline. It's nothing huge. There you go. What is a Sikh? What I'll do is I'll let Professor Eleanor Nesbitt from the University of Warwick, who I've spoken to a few times, explain a little bit, yeah?
Okay, sure. Go for it. Right. If you
Can you
want, are you sharing the audio? Right. Let me just. I'll mute. Okay. No, we can't hear that audio. You need to share. When you click share the screen, you need to click the little button that shares the audio as well, mate.
Damn, sorry.
That's okay. Just go back and I'll kick you out. I'll kick the screen out. Reshare the screen, and in the bottom left, there's a little box to tick that shares your audio. Listen, it's a live show. Don't worry about it.
You've seen what happens, man.
You've seen what happens on this show every week. We broadcast for 3 or 4 hours. We don't have like a team of producers and editors and people pressing the buttons. We're all doing it live right here. Oh, what's this on the screen? Oh no, that's the slide I was waiting for later on. There we go. That's better. Okay, so we've got your screen back.
Any good?
Are you playing the video?
Let me play it. Let's have a go. Oh, please work.
No, wait. I think you need to click the little the button when you actually share the screen. It's not in the settings like I showed you. If you go back and you when you press share the screen, in the bottom left, there's a little thing to say share audio. So reshare your screen and then click share audio.
Okay. I'll get there. Sorry.
That's all right, mate. Don't worry about it. You watch the show all the time. You've seen all the problems we have with doing the tech.
Yeah.
So don't forget, everyone, the competition we're running at the moment is for JD. Next week, he's giving away a copy of his album, his entire backlog catalogue on a USB stick, 9 albums, a T-shirt, and a handcrafted Ankh necklace, which is made of Orgonite. The description of how to enter the competition, you need to like his page. You do need to do a few things. You've got to share something, and you've got to tag a friend, and you need to say the most important thing you learned from Rise Above. Post it on your social media, and all the description of how to do this is actually in the description of the show. So click on the link, you'll see all the text, and you'll see all of this text that shows you how to enter the competition to win these things from JD.
Massive amount of music, that.
Yeah,
9 albums.
9 albums plus the new albums. So that's 10 albums in total. T-shirts, pendant. What more could you possibly want? How you getting on, Tage, pal? Right, I'm going to talk you through it. Click the button at the bottom that says share the screen.
Yeah.
When the menu button comes up, on the bottom left, there's a tiny little tick box that says share audio in the new window that's popped up. Can you see it?
There's no box here, mate.
Does it not say share audio in the bottom screen? Share system audio, it should say that. If you're sharing your entire screen. Otherwise, what you'll have to do is you'll just have to do your presentation without the audio and just talk us through it. Because that video you sent me, I can share it from this end. Yeah, when it says choose what you want to share, in the bottom left-hand corner, it says share system audio on my screen, and you tick the box. Let's try it one more time. If not,
can't see it.
Well, just press play. Is it just this one slide that has a video in?
No, this is quite a lot.
Oh right, it's based on videos. Is it? Are you able to just show us the slides and sort of just talk us through it? Because the video that you sent me, I can play it from this end, the 10-minute video about Bhangra music.
Okay, what if I email you the file?
You could, but that's going to be a little bit cumbersome in the middle of a live show. That's the only thing, mate.
Right, I can see you guys, but I can't see share audio.
Yeah, because you're already sharing the screen. Let me kick the screen out. Now, when you press share screen, on the very first window that pops up, there's a little button in the bottom left that says share the audio as well. When you select whether you're sharing the screen or the window, on the very first window that pops up when you press share the screen. It's a tiny little tick box in the bottom left.
No.
You don't have it. That's really annoying because if you, basically otherwise you can only share the have you, is it a PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah.
Email it to me.
I will.
Right, I'm going to play a music video. This is from Lucas Lyon. Okay. This one is called The Digital Age. Lucas Lyon.
Transhumanism is the new religion. Metaverse, welcome to the newest prison for you to live in. It's a war on your essence, the warnings are present, but who will choose to listen? They sell virtual reality like you can live your fantasy, but that's all part of the strategy to plug you in and take control. Microchips replacing souls, that has always been the goal. Look, hey yo, check the methods they've been using. Slow and steady they've been grooming, projecting their illusion. Sending messages in movies, predictive programming. They've been telling us the blueprint. Why is everything connected to computers? Why is that? This path that we're treading is abusive. Venomous and ruthless predators are looming. Weapons aimed at anything that's human. Yo, they want a digital age, but I ain't gonna be a digital slave. They ain't gonna put a chip in my brain, and I ain't ever gonna give my spirit away. Nah. Can't digitize me, can't digitize us, can't digitize we. Nah. Can't digitize me, can't digitize us, cause we're living life free. Artificial intelligence is the devil's development. They've been cooking up malevolent recipes. Man or machine, the definition's getting blurry. Organic till death, I'll never let them convert me. I think this is what they've always been planning. Get us hooked on the gadgets, don't worry about the damage. The younger the better, get them on a phone while they're in nappies. That's how you create a population of addicts. They set traps for the masses. These black mirrors are black magic programming. Yeah, I see cyborgs caught in a mind war. Silent weapons, this is what they were designed for. Smart watch, smartphone, smart city, smart home. I don't really see how this is smart though, nah bro. Mass surveillance and monitoring, digital cages, they're locking you in. They want a digital age, but I ain't gonna be a digital slave. They ain't gonna put a chip in my brain, and I ain't ever gonna give my spirit away. Nah. Can't digitize me, can't digitize us, can't digitize we. Nah. Can't digitize me, can't digitize us, cause we're living life free. Kids these days can't survive life without a device in their eyesight. Deep human connection has gone bye-bye, cause they'd rather connect to the Wi-Fi. Mine. The World Wide Web, the spiders caught us, we've been cursed by them, yeah. They've been building tall prison walls from everything digital, so they can grip you in their claws. Digital ID, social credit, if you don't play nicely, they'll make you regret it. Digital currency, they're coming for your cash, cause they want it all tracked so that you stay trapped. I am not saying that I don't use devices, I'm just saying know what the price is. Don't let it get a tight grip that leaves you lifeless. Man or machine, don't forget where the line is. They want a digital age, but I ain't gonna be a digital slave. Not me. They ain't gonna put a chip in my brain, and I ain't ever gonna give my spirit away. Nah. Can't digitize me, can't digitize us, can't digitize we. Nah, man. Can't digitize me, can't digitize us, cause we're living life free.
Wow, yeah, mate. Lucas
Mate,
Lyon,
that was dope.
Lucas Lyon has just seriously upped the levels. Wow, very impressed with that. So that's Digital Age by Lucas Lyon. We've had him on the show before. He performed at Raw Treat. He's one of those artists that we always pay our dues to. Great guy. Big up Lucas Lyon.
He's taller than you think as well.
He's very
He's
tall.
quite tall,
He's
isn't
a
he?
big guy, mate. He was towering above me. Yeah, he's massive. Shout out to everyone tuned in. Paul Cook, Batthink 2, Andy Panny 33. Who else have we got here? All the usuals. We have 238 people tuned in. Have you got any more luck with that, finding that little button?
No. What I'm doing is I'm emailing it to you.
Okay, all right. So,
It's going to file.
is it come to Rise Above live stream?
Yeah. And it's going to be a Google Drive link, yeah?
Nothing's come through yet.
It hasn't come through this end. Rise Above livestream at gmail.com.
Yeah, it's still loading.
Oh, it's still loading. It's quite big.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's 1.6,
It's 1.6 gigs.
1.3.
1.3. Oh, mate, that's going to take quite a long time. Oh no, it's what is it? A link? Okay, all right,
It's a link.
all right. So,
And I'll be sending you 2 emails, yeah?
all right. Well, that's going to take a little while to upload. So let's give it a little introduction. You know what? Oh, Tage Powell has an echo. That's why. Let me mute him. Sorry, he's on the phone and we're trying to hear him. Right, I've sorted the echo, hopefully. So, what kind of stuff are you going to be telling us about Sikhism? What's going to be in this presentation?
Well, to go back to your question about how it all came about the Sikh faith and getting, obviously, the 10th Guru, who initiated the Khalsa Panth back in 1699. So I'm going to be talking about that. And also, I'll be highlighting the 10 Sikh Gurus, just briefly. But the first, obviously, I'll give a bit more detail on the first one, the 5th Guru, the 6th, 8th, and the 10th Guru, yeah? Because they, 2 of them actually were martyred, our 5th Guru and our 8th Guru. So I'll be talking about that a little bit.
Okay.
And then bring you up to date about how the situation is now, and having the Ard Guru Granth Sahib as our everlasting Guru, which is installed in the Gurdwaras worldwide.
So you have gurus, and how many? 10?
10 living Gurus,
Right.
up to 1708. That's when our 10th Guru left this realm. But before he left, he installed the Ard Guru Granth Sahib, which is a written scripture, which has got writings from previous Gurus and also previous mystics and spiritual people who were Hindu and Muslims as well. So it's all combined, and it all contains truth.
So in Sikhism, is it monotheistic or polytheistic? Is it monotheistic, like one god or a pantheon of gods?
One God, one creator.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's all it is. Because everything is one, and the creation comes from the one.
Okay, I've got lots of questions, but I think I want to wait for the presentation. Is this still uploading to the thing, or have you actually sent me the email? Because we still haven't received anything yet.
It should be there.
No.
No, hang on. Still loading. Wait, hang on.
Yeah, but have you uploaded the actual presentation into an email, or is it a link onto
Well, the thing is that the file is so big, it won't email it like that. It'll be a Google Drive link, yeah?
a Google Drive link? Okay, all right.
It's halfway there. 1.3 gig.
Rise and Shine.
Everything-
I mean, we've got a great comment here from Rise and Shine. Maybe you should meme that, mate. Let's get that memed. Santa Claus.
Santa Claus would have been a good Xmas jumper. That would have been a good Xmas jumper.
Yeah.
For anyone that's wondering, we do have Xmas jumpers available. They do look a bit like this. Let me just share the screen here. We had designs from Rise and Shine, from Russ Kieran, And who did the other one? Oh, Johnny Fogg. Johnny Fogg did the one in the middle. Yeah. So we've got on the left is the Russ Kieran. That's a Christmas barrel with the sheep farm. In the middle, Holidays Ra Coming by Johnny Fogg, and on the right hand side, that is the Rise and Shine, the Rativity scene. I believe we're calling that one. Also, what am I doing? You can see them much better here. Look at that
Rabbit in the manger.
I got accused of idolising myself. It's like, listen, I'm not Jesus in the manger. I'm Josrahev.
Yahweh.
No, we idolised the rabbit. Look how attentively Omar Beats is like looking at the rabbit here. See this? See that?
He's really kissing it,
He's
mate.
almost kissing the rabbit. Like.
And Magix is highly interested in the rabbits there.
Yes, big up Johnny Fogg. Have you got any more memes? Send them in.
Yeah, we love getting memes in real time.
Omar Construction. What's fucked? It's fucked. Okay, all right. Yeah, Omar's trying to fix my house. We've got big problems.
Studio's all right. That's the main thing.
The studio's perfectly fine, but the ceiling upstairs, there's a problem. Yeah, don't forget we've got all the new Rapparel available right now. www.riseabove.tv/shop. New tracksuits. I've finally got one in blue for you here, Tej Pal, because I know that Sikhs like blue.
Ah, bless you.
Yeah, we've got a nice 3-piece here ready in blue for you. We've also got the varsity jackets, kids hoodies, ladies, men's, unisex. It's all on the website right now. Rise Above is always free, but this is how you support us. Merchandise.
Rise above, generate, rise above, distinguish fear, rise above, abstract.
How are we doing on that upload, Tej Pal?
It's 3/4 of the way uploaded. So we've got about quarter to go.
Okay, luckily my 500 megapixel internet is better than yours, so when I get it, I'll be able to download it super quick.
Courtesy of Richard Branson.
Courtesy of Richard Branson.
Straight from Epstein Island.
Absolutely. Who else have we got tuned in? Cheech McDuck, Lingo Bikes, you're new. Welcome to Rise Above. 21B Medical.
There's a few people in the chat.
No, let's get some chat on the screen because we have definitely got some new people here. Let me have a little look through here. Batfink, I've seen you before. Cheech, we all know about him. Jason Renix, he's joined us. He was back from the olden days. Welcome back, Jason. Just looking through here, wait a minute. Herodotus get fooked. It's all gone Eric von Essex. I'm just reviewing some comments here while we just wait for this download.
People loving this merch in the comments.
I hope so. I've spent a long time designing this merch for you guys.
Rise and Shine's asking, Lance, is the Rapparel tracksuit slim or regular fit?
Yeah, it's all regular fit. Obviously, the Rapparel tracksuits, the Rapparel tracksuits has tapered pants, so it has like fitted bottoms. But I have released regular fit bottoms in light grey and in charcoal to match our existing range.
Yeah.
The point is with Rapparel, it doesn't have my designs on it. It doesn't have any big drawings on it. It's actually supposed to be like a more, like a bit sort of bespoke, high-end range. So we've got like it's higher end stuff. So we've got this nice cross-neck hoodie with the tapered pants, and then in the blue, this is a heavyweight hoodie. So it's actually much thicker, much higher quality than the normal hoodie. And obviously these are fitted pants with the matching t-shirt. I've really gone all out on the quality for this. It is a little bit more expensive than the normal stuff, but that's reflected in the quality.
There's plenty of other cheaper stuff if people want to buy.
Well, that's the thing. I'm releasing cheaper t-shirts too. I'm doing t-shirts for 20 quid. So we're trying to cater for all pockets, all walks of life. Whether you want something, to really flex in, or you just want to go to the supermarket and absolutely blow someone's mind with a Rise Above t-shirt with reject the Coviet Union on it or whatever. We're trying to cater for everybody here. And we've got the Christmas jumpers as well.
I need a new Reject the Coviet Union t-shirt. I've got fucking paint on mine the other day.
I think after our treat, everyone gets a new round of t-shirts.
How are we looking, Taj Pro?
Nearly there, bro. Come on. Okay. It's loaded.
It's loaded. Send me that goddamn link. We want to get this Sikh presentation going. Let's go. Milwana, I see you. Boom Shanker Lady, I see you. Big shout out to everyone tuned in. We're just waiting for Tagepal to send this link over and then we can get going.
Lord Dewsburst said in the comments, rise above willy warmer for the dark winter.
That would be good. Hand knitted as well. In macrame. Maybe we'll get that on the go. Listen.
I'm going to send you 2 emails, like I said, yeah? So let me know when that one comes through.
All right. Okay, I've got the first one. Let's download that right now.
Okay.
What's it saying? Oh, 9 minutes. No. Oh, mate, we might, if it's really going to take 9 minutes to download this, we might have to just scrap it and just keep going because I don't really want to keep everyone waiting for another 10 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you what, while we're waiting for that to download, just get it on the screen without any sound and we'll do what we can with what we've got while we're waiting for that one to download, yeah?
Opening in 1 minute, it says.
Oh, right, okay.
Hold fire.
Richard Branson just kicked into action. No, we pay a lot of money for this internet here. And I had a massive go at Virgin this week, and I think they should have upgraded it. So 1 minute, 59 seconds. Okay. How many people we got tuned in? 209.
209.
Oh, we lost a few people there. Please stick with us, guys. Remember, when we do live streams that are like 4 or 5 hours long, when we like cruise through it like butter.
Yeah, shit goes wrong sometimes.
No, but people only know when shit goes wrong, right? When you cruise through a 4 or 5 hour live stream like butter and it's all smooth, no one notices that.
No.
When it's all slick like a TV program and we're all just like constantly bouncing off of each other and there's so much going on, it's like yeah, no one ever notices that. But when you're live, okay.
I'm sending you the email as well, yeah.
It says I've got 10 seconds left before it's downloaded my end. Right.
This is a good idea we've had from
right
in the
underneath.
comments here. This is a good one. How about a rise above mug when it gets hot and a rise above logo will appear?
Do you know what? No Cat Popeye. I almost got those mugs last year. Our supply could get them. They were literally thermal mugs that were totally black, and then Rise Above appears when it gets hot, and then they were gone when I went to order them. We have got mugs. You can't see them because the camera's not in the right direction, but they're behind me. If anyone wants a mug,
I'll grab a mug off a shelf.
yeah, go and get a mug. Yeah, if anyone wants a mug, email me at riseabovelivestream@gmail.com because we have got them here. The thing is I don't put them on the website because like to post them out is like the same thing it costs. So like if you really want one, I'll send one to you, and we're not going to make any money on it. But if you really want one, we have. What mugs have we got? We've got Full Metal Rabbit.
Is that a Lord Schwab raspberry?
Yeah, we still got raspberry pass left. Come on. Right, okay. I've got. Oh, look, I've got a presentation. Now we can go. Right. So if I get rid of that and I'll share my screen with the thing.
Lance
right.
passes a mug. I'm going for a piss.
There you go, mate.
Sikh joke there.
Right, okay. So I'll share the audio with the screen. Boom, selector. Okay. Right, now we're in the house. Double L's here. I'm on the buttons. Let's roll. So view. We'll get a nice little view like that. Right, Sikh 101. Do you want me to start with this video?
Yeah, play that one first.
Hopefully this works. Please work.
1. Sikh, which is
Here we go.
pronounced Sikh in Punjabi, is a word which means a learner or a disciple. In that sense, we're all Sikh. And the word Sikhism was coined around 1900 by Westerners. Point number 2. Around 75% of the world's 24 million or so Sikhs live in one state of India, the Indian state of Punjab in the northwest. Point number 3. The Sikh scripture is the Guru Granth Sahib. It's a volume of mystical verse by 6 of the Sikhs' 10 gurus and other mystical poets. Number 4. The Sikhs' 10 human gurus lived during a period that roughly corresponds to the period of Mughal rule in North India. It started with Guru Nanak, a more or less contemporary of Martin Luther in the West. He was born in 1469, and the line of 10 human gurus finished with the death of Guru Gobind Singh, the 10th Guru, in 1708. Point number 5, signifiers of being a Sikh. There are 5 which begin with the letter K in the Punjabi alphabet. So the Kara, which is a wristband or bangle, and the Kangra, which is a wooden comb which is worn in the hair. The uncut hair Kish is one of them. the kirpan, which is a sword, often a very short sword, often worn underneath clothing, and the kutch, or the kachhera.
Sorry, I'm just turning it up a little bit. I've heard it's low.
Which are the breeches, usually worn as a form of underwear, but shorts, which finish above the knee. Those are the 5 indicators that somebody is an initiated Sikh, initiated into the Khalsa community. But the turban is the respectful way of covering the uncut hair. Number 6, key Sikh teachings include living a life which is focused on the Guru and focused on God, rather than on the individual's whims and individual greed and so on. And the Sikh life is to be one that is a fine balance between service, voluntarily serving the community and also taking family responsibilities, and contemplation, being mindful of the divine in everything one does. Point number 7, the Sikhs' place of worship is called a Gurdwara. It's called a Gurdwara because it's where the Guru resides, and the Guru Granth Sahib, the scripture, is central to everything that happens in the Gurdwara. People pay their respects. Every life cycle, rite and festival involves reading from the Guru Granth Sahib. And the Guru Granth Sahib is enthroned on cushions under a canopy, and people behave in a particularly respectful way in the presence of the scriptures. Point number 8, Amritsar in Punjab is Sikh's spiritual centre. It's the place where the Golden Temple is, which is also known as Darbar Sahib and Harmandir Sahib. And it is visited by hundreds of thousands of people. So each day, about 100,000 people receive free hospitality, cooked food, in the langar, in the food hall of the Golden Temple in Amritsar. Number 9, the British, during the British Raj, regarded Sikhs as a martial race and favoured them in recruitment for the British Indian Army. And during the 2 world wars, over 80,000 Sikh soldiers lost their lives, and over 109,000 were injured. Point number 10, the Gurus emphasised the irrelevance of gender, whether you were born male or female, and caste, which hereditary employment group you were born into. Totally irrelevant for spiritual progress. And so Sikhs have a belief in equality of all people.
Right, next slide. Hello?
There we go. Tush Power, is that right? Is that the right one?
Perfect.
Sikh
yeah,
Gurus
perfect.
1 to 5th, 1st to 5th.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, the founding father of the Sikh faith is Guru Nanak Dev Ji, back in 1469. And then we had the second Guru, Guru Angad Dev Ji, in 1539, followed by our third Guru, Guru Amar Das Sahib Ji, and then Guru Ram Das Ji, and our fifth Guru, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, who later on became martyred by one of the Mughal emperors. Go to the next slide. And then it followed Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji. He was our sixth Guru, and he was the first one to pick up arms, basically arming himself with 2 swords, one Miri, one Piri, meaning temporal and spiritual. And then after him came Guru Har Rai Sahib, and then Guru Har Krishan Sahib Ji, and he was made Guru at the age of 5, but he only lived 3 years, and he passed away because he used to look after a lot of people who were ill, especially lepers in them days, and he actually passed away through disease like that. After that was Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, our 9th Guru, and he also gave his head to protect the Hindu faith because at the time, the Mughal suppression was so heavy. They were converting people by force, and a few Hindu Brahmins went to Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji to ask him if he could talk to the Mughal emperor at the time. So when he did go, he was arrested, and eventually he was actually beheaded. And his son, our 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, warrior, he's the one who initiated the Khalsa Panth back in 1699. And he was here till 1708. But before he left this realm, he initiated the 11th Guru, which is the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and that's our everlasting Guru forever. So that's what when we go to the Gurdwaras, we bow down and kneel down to the Granth Sahib, because that's the only thing we should bow down to. No bowing down to any human being, because we're all equal. Yeah. Next slide. We're going to depth about the first Guru. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was the first Guru, born in 1469 until the age of 70. He basically, what happened, he was really spiritual from a young age anyway, always way ahead of his time. Even the teachers, when he was 7 or 8 years old, used to come back and complain to his parents that there is nothing we can teach him because he already knows. He used to speak Persian, Urdu, Punjabi, and a few other languages fluently. And the teachers just couldn't teach him anymore, because even in maths he used to excel. And some days he used to actually question the teachers about things to test their knowledge. And that's why they used to get frustrated and kick him out of school or send him back home to his parents. So by the age he was around about 30, 32, he had a premonition, and for some reason he disappeared for 3 days. Everybody in the village was looking for him, thinking maybe he's been attacked by a wild tiger or something and been dragged away. But he disappeared into, well, there are theories saying that he actually went into the river Sutlej in the Punjab for 3 days, and that's where he was taken up into the Creator's board, and he actually seen the Creator, and he became his messenger. So for me, I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm open-minded. But he did actually disappear for 3 days into meditation, and when he came back into the village where he used to live, the people were so happy to see him because they all loved him. He carried that charisma all the way through. And they were saying, where you been? He just said, Waheguru. Waheguru in Punjabi, it's a creator. It's a word that we use for God. Wahe means everything's yours. Wow. Like, wow. Guru means you are the eternal Guru. And Guru, the word Guru comes from the word Gu, which is Punjabi for shit or crap, Gu, and then Ru, which means enlightenment. So Ru means from darkness, from crap to lightness. That's what Guru means.
From the dark to the light.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
this is the first. This is the first of 10.
This is the first. He's the founder of Sikhi.
Okay.
And when he came back out, when he came back into the village, people started questioning him things about where you've been, what you've done, things like that. And he just said, I'm happy, I'm at peace. And because there were two factions, you had the Hindu culture, then you had the Muslim culture within India at the time. People were saying, so who's greater, who's better? Who does God love more, Hindus or Muslims? The Hindus were saying, God loves us because we were here first. The Muslims were saying, no, Allah is ours. So what Guru Nanak Dev Ji said is, there's no Hindus, there's no Muslims. We're all one. and that is true.
So
We
it's
are
sort of
one.
like a little bit like omnism, where you
Yeah.
sort of recognize, all of these monotheistic religions are basically talking about the infinite creator. And I will just interject here with my own personal thing. I know on this show a lot I personally sort of try to separate the Abrahamic desert cult from the Yahweh idea from the actual one creator. This is my own personal thing. Let me ask, from a Sikh, right, from your point of view, do you separate your idea of the one infinite creator with the Hebrew God of the Bible, the Yahweh? Or is it the same thing?
Well, the Hebrew God of Yahweh. Okay, I don't want to offend anybody, but
That's okay. You can offend anyone here.
I don't really resonate with that, but that's me. Because obviously, the more I go into the Sikh faith and the more scriptures I read and the more decoding I do, because even the Sikh scriptures were written in code and they have been changed since, obviously, since the days of the British Raj and whatever. A lot of the Bani, not a lot, but some of it within, things have been changed, as I will explain as we go on further into the presentation. So, for me, I don't particularly resonate with the Yahweh thing, but I do know there's a creator. That's it, and it's Waheguru. That encompasses everything. You can call it God, you can call it Allah, you can call it Buddha. It's all one. It's Waheguru.
Sure. And how would these gurus? Because you were talking about in the Punjab in the 1400s. So Buddhism was around then. I mean, these guru characters. I know we're on the first of 10, and obviously we can't expend so much time on the first and the next 9. But they seem to be like in what you would talk about in like New Age, theosophy, ascended masters, these very learned, pure people. So if these guys are walking around in the 1400s, when there's Buddhism, would they have been seen as like a reincarnation of the Buddha? Is that how a Buddhist would have interpreted one of these guru characters?
Well, I can answer that quickly. Really, even the Buddhists actually acknowledged Guru Nanak Dev Ji as their avatar, as the Buddha's avatar. Yeah.
Right.
So that's how they place it, and they gave him the same respect, and they still give the same respect even today. There are Buddhists, obviously, in India. They don't not only go to their own Buddhist temples, but they actually come to the Gurdwaras as well, and they pay the same respects that everybody else does, bow down to the Granth Sahib and everything.
Sure.
So they recognize that Guru Nanak Dev Ji was something special. And even the Muslims recognize Guru Nanak Dev Ji as something special, because the Muslims considered him as their peer, as one of them. And then the Hindus on the other side, they respected him as being their leader from Christian these days, as Christians, Krishna's avatar.
So unlike Muslims and Islam, Sikhs wouldn't have a problem with saying Hindus are their people, although they have a pantheon of potentially thousands of gods or hundreds, because obviously in Islam that would be haram and it would be idolatry. But although you are monotheistic and there is only one infinite creator, you don't have a problem saying that those are our people too, even though they idolize hundreds of gods.
We recognize all of them. Going to the Hindu beliefs and their faith, which I believe in as well, because we actually do respect Shiv, because Shiva, like I explained last time, is the creator and the destroyer at the same time. And all martial arts throughout the world, even that exists today, comes through Shiva. So Shiva is the avatar of the creator, yeah? And
Sure.
so was Brahma, and all the others that came after him as well.
Actually, it's a very inclusive belief system then.
Yeah, it's everything. I mean, within our scriptures, it's Shiva is mentioned, Krishna is mentioned, Brahma is mentioned throughout. and so is Chandima. Chandima is Kalima, yeah, which obviously has been misinterpreted that she's evil, she's dark, she's got that tongue hanging out with skulls around her head, but she's actually for good, yeah. And she was so fast, she used to have your head off before you thought of anything. So before you even thought about harming her or harming anybody, she used to have your head off. And she was here. She was in this realm, present. They're all there still, to be honest with you, above where we live, yeah? They're all there. And there will come a time I reckon very soon, that they will gradually come back to help humanity out eventually.
So
Yeah,
so just to cross-reference some of the other belief systems and sort of theologies that we entertain on this show, what you could be talking about there when you're talking about these gods or demigods under the infinite creator coming back, you could be talking about the Anuna or those above us that helped to create us in ancient times. Whatever you subscribe to, we always like to cross-reference here. I always like to draw ideas together to create some sort of common ground, and that's sort of like the syncretic method that we talk about. And it seems to me,
it's all the same energy. They're all the same avatars, yeah, but they've been given different names by different cultures throughout the generation. Like today, I can call you, instead of Lance, I'll call you AL. How are you? And then 10 years down the line, or 20 years down the line, everybody will just know you as L. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, but it's all the same avatar, the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Shiva, Brahma, and Krishna and Vishnu. They're all the same. They come in different avatars. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji is an avatar of Krishna.
Wow. Okay.
And obviously, like it's written on there, he did a lot of travel as well in his days by walking, because obviously there were no cars in them days. By walking or using donkeys or something, or even ships to cross big oceans. There's records of him visiting Mecca and Medina. Obviously, when he was in Mecca, he was resting against a tree on one of the days, and he had his feet pointing towards the Kaaba. And one of the feeds of the Muslim peers come out, the head, basically the chief spiritual guide, and he shouted at Guru Nanak Dev Ji saying, "How dare you have your feet pointing towards the Kaaba? Don't you know that's so disrespectful? That's God." Guru Nanak Dev Ji calmly said to him, "Well, my brother, move my feet wherever you want to move them." And what he did, he kicked them. He kicked his feet around to the other direction, and the Kaaba itself moved with it. And the guy couldn't believe it. The priest couldn't believe it. And then he kicked his feet back again the other way, and Kaaba moved again.
The black cube moved.
Yeah. And at that point, the Muslim priest, he just fell on his knees, and he said, "I am so sorry. You are a man of God. You're a messenger. I am so sorry."
So you're suggesting that these gurus actually could be like interpreted as having sort of like what's the word? Like super, they could perform like miracles and things like that. That's what we're talking about.
Absolutely, 100%. I've actually, without sounding too whoa out there, they do come and visit us. We can't see them, but when we do our prayers, you can feel them. I do feel them now and again. And when I've got problems or whatever, I just got to recite the Bani and do a few prayers. It helps. It smooths the way. I mean, whatever's written in your timeline that you already agreed to before you came into this realm will happen. But if it's really, really, really terrible thing that's going to happen, this helps it. It cushions the blow, yeah? So, yeah.
Can we just review what you just said there, Teshbro? You said that we've already agreed to what's been written into our timeline. Can you speak a little bit more on that?
Yeah, you do know that we get reincarnated. Not all the time as human beings. This is our highest form that we are incarnated. So from human form, our next step, our next journey is to merge with the light, to merge with the superior, to merge with the creator, to merge with Waheguru. But depending on what we do, our actions on this realm will determine whether we come back as a human, if we have to reincarnate to rectify our mistakes, or maybe even lower life form, might even come back as a pig or dog or even an ant, because it's all one life, yeah? It's one light. It's all one light. So it depends on your actions. And these parasites, they got problems. They got real huge problems because they want to get out of this realm as well, but they can't because of the deeds that they've done. So they're stuck here. And that's what the Guru's message was to us. And that's written in the scriptures. Do our seva, which is the utmost thing within humanity, to serve humankind without putting yourself first, to put others first. And that's what Sikh is all about.
So, does the Sikh tradition have views about? Does it recognise these parasites? Does it recognise there are evil forces working against us?
Yeah, demonic.
Interesting.
They are here. They've always been here. From day dot. They've always been here. And it's written in the scriptures what we need to do to separate ourselves from this situation. And there will eventually come a time, written in the scriptures, that there will be so much blood on this realm, on this earth, that a standing horse, the blood that will be washing everywhere on the ground will reach the belly of a horse. Yeah, that's how much blood there will be. And there'll only be very few human beings left. Only the ones who have been truthful to themselves and to others that will be given another opportunity to carry on. But a lot of humanity had it the wrong way, I'm afraid. And it's written. It is written. And it's coming to fruition now. Things. It won't, in the Bani, in the scriptures, the Sikh scriptures, it actually gives us guidance notes of what to do when these times come. The Gurus didn't actually put a timeline or a date on there because I think they knew at that time that the timelines that we're being given by the controllers is all manipulated anyway. So it was no point them giving us a timeline of saying 2022 or 2023 because it doesn't matter.
It's all subjective, isn't it? It's all subjective, you know.
There's different calendars for different cultures.
Yeah. Whatever number or way they try to quantify it would probably be meaningless to us because of all the inversion, all of the deception. It wouldn't mean anything to us if they tried to give us a date back then when they thought it would happen, because we don't even know if that was the real date, because we could be dealing with a fake calendar.
It is a fake calendar, which I'll tell you a little bit later when we start talking about Masons again. So in them days, they took each day as it came, and the days were longer. Have you noticed? I have noticed personally myself in the last 20 years, the weeks, the days, the months, the years are getting shorter and quicker. The day just passes so quickly now.
We've spoke about this on the show before, that time is physically speeding up.
Yeah, I mean, in accepted science, it's a matter of seconds or maybe milliseconds over a decade that they say, time in the 2020s is 1.6% quicker than it was in the 80s or something like that, due to the Schumann resonance. So they're sort of admitting it, but it's the old adage. They say that time speeds up as you age. And all we ever know is the one life we're living as we age. So it's sort of like one
Do you
of
remember
those
when you were a
traps.
kid, like how long like a month was?
It seemed like a lifetime.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's because now we've witnessed many months. You could always have that argument. So it's very difficult to quantify it because we
Yeah,
don't
sure.
normally
No,
recognise
sure, for
another
sure.
life. You know, it's very difficult. But yeah,
Talking about fake calendars and times and stuff like that. I mean, this is getting back to what Archaex was saying last week about the Egyptians. They used to do things in moons, which is a month. Whereas we're taught, you know,
everything in years. And also
Yeah.
the year back then was 360 days, not 364 and a
Yeah.
quarter or a third or 0.33 or whatever. So yeah, it's very difficult.
So it's speeding up. Time is definitely speeding up. And what's written in the Bani, the Sikh scriptures, I can see it happening. It's happening in front of my eyes now. Look how we've been treated for the last 2-3 years. Yeah, incredible. And it also goes on to say in our 10th Guru's predictions, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, that this time is going to be so bad. Not only will there be so much blood on the streets, but mankind is going to get so horrific. We'll basically be dogs. You know, mothers will end up having their sons as their lovers, daughters, and everything. All this is happening right in front of our eyes now.
Right, I've just got. You just said that the 10th Guru predicted this, and so I've brought up the slide from the 10th Guru. Right, this jumps out at me straight away. He was born in 1666, so the 10th Guru was born in the same year as the Dark Messiah Shabbatai Zevi declared himself. And for anyone that we've spoke about this on the show before, and this is sort of like, you know, this is restricted material, that there was a sect of let me get this right, Zoroastric Judaism in the 1600s where someone declared themselves the Messiah, and it was all inverted, you know, sort of like, you know, when you have a feast, no, don't fast, have a feast, don't abstain, you know, have an orgy. This
do what the fuck you like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that happened in 1666, and this Shabbatai Zevi guy was forced to actually convert to Islam by a sultan who thought he was such a threat, and that's the same year this guy was born. The 10th Guru was born the same year. This is,
and it kind of looks like him.
He does.
Well, from what we know of depictions of,
I've only seen a drawing of Shabbatai Zevi. Obviously, this is an artist's impression as well. But that seems to be awfully coincidental. It's like as that
was he 33 years old?
Yeah, but Shabbatai Zevi was probably 33 years old when this guy was born, 1666. That just jumps out at me straight away.
Yeah, and it was 1699 that he actually created the Khalsa Panth, which is initiated the Sikhs into one, because there was a lot of problems within the Asian community, especially the Hindus. They had a lot of caste system in there, you know, higher and lower class, and he annulled all that and made everybody equal. No caste system, nothing. But that's when we were given our customary rights to wear, you know, our weapons and everything. And it's been like that ever since. And his father, actually the ninth Guru, was the one who gave his life to protect the Hindu faith. Because Aurangzeb, he had ordered all the Hindu Brahmins to be forcibly converted. And our ninth Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, he actually challenged him. And Aurangzeb at that time said that, okay, then why don't you die for them? And I'll leave them alone. He said, okay. So yeah, gave his life.
So it's like in this year there was like a lot of, or around this year there was a lot of forced conversion
Oh,
into different religions.
No. It had been going on for 150 years. The Mughals were really pressing everybody within India, forcibly converting them. And if they weren't converting, they were killing them. And
we've also had a comment here from Rise and Shine.
Basically their way or the highway.
Same year as the Great Fire of London, 1666.
Exactly, yeah, same year.
An important year in this simulation or whatever,
Well, it's 666,
this construct, whatever this is that we're living in. We don't want to put a certain label on it. You know, we're entertaining all ideas on the table. Last week we had Jason Archaics. This week we've got Sikh 101 talking about Sikh faith. We're entertaining all ideas here at Rise Above. That's what the nature of this rabbit hole is.
Bro, you should have the second email from me as well, yeah?
Yeah, we've got it.
Okay.
Okay. We're still doing this first presentation, aren't we?
Yes, we are. So
Okay, shall I basically talked about the first guru anyway, and the fifth guru, Guru Arjan, if you go to the seventh slide.
okay. What guru number are we on?
That's fifth, yeah, fifth.
Fifth, there you go. Okay, yeah, it's on the screen now.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Here it is, right. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Again, there was oppression against people at that time as well. And Guruji was arrested by the Mughal emperor at the time, taken into custody. And what he was told was, you have to convert to Islam. And he said no. So he was sentenced to be executed by being boiled on a hot plate on a hot summer's day in India. So if you can see the bottom picture,
Yeah.
that's an artist's rendition, but it actually was similar to that because there were witnesses actually who saw and wrote about this execution. And the witnesses were actually two Portuguese priests that were based in India at the time. And they were given the opportunity to see how powerful the Mughals were. So they actually witnessed Guru Arjan Dev Ji getting frayed on hot plate. And while he was getting frayed, they were pouring hot sand over him as well.
Oh, I bet that
So
was
obviously,
nice.
but you can imagine his body just boiled up completely. But he never gave in. He never said, I'll give up. And that is where the Sikh faith comes in.
He bravehearted it all the way through. He never gave up while they're torturing him.
And according to the Portuguese priests who wrote accounts of it, they said when Guru Arjan Dev Ji was put on the hot plate, he sat there so calm, he didn't even flinch, even though the temperature must have been crazy, yeah? Because you imagine sitting on a hot plate and then you're getting hot sand pour over you as well. And this went on for hours. It wasn't just like happened quickly and it was over.
Slow
It
and
went
painful.
on for very painful, very painful. And then what happened is when his consciousness went, the Mughal soldiers, they basically picked his body up and threw it in the river. But according to the Portuguese priests who witnessed this, they said they sent out, the Sikhs, they sent out search parties, and they also dived into the river, but they couldn't find the body. It just disappeared. Whether it got washed away into the ocean or just went into the ether, nobody knows.
So this story of this forced conversion or death, this is echoed across different faiths all around in the same century. It's like this everything is being echoed all over the place.
Yeah, this torture system, it comes, we can't blame the Mughals because they were just following orders. Yeah?
Yes, we can. I'm going to stop you right there. That is the absolute worst thing in humanity, is just following orders. So we can blame them.
Yeah, we can blame them. But then again, we got to show compassion because the soldiers that were carrying out the orders, they just did it because otherwise they would have been taken out. Yeah. So.
Isn't that where true morality is?
It's supposed to be.
There we go.
It's supposed to.
That's the problem. There we go.
And
police and military.
Yeah, it's always the same story, though, isn't it? It's
doesn't matter what century.
The worst atrocities are always not people breaking the rules; it's people doing what they're told, isn't it? Following the rules. Yeah, sadly.
Because they need a paycheck, because they need money, because they need to eat.
Or they're threatened with their life.
This torture system, like I was saying, I think it was initiated by the Vatican because obviously they were doing this shit anyway in Europe, weren't they?
The Inquisition, yeah, they invented all different ways to horrifically torture people.
Oh, mate, it's fucking horrendous what's gone on over time.
Which, you know, all of those medieval torture chambers and those devices and all those things, and, you know, we've seen the reenactments in films and movies. I think back now, was that ever an effective way to extract information or to inquisit someone? Or was that, or what we've seen is just ancient fucking satanic ritual machines where it was just industrialized torture of people? It makes me wonder because, you know, it's not going to get information out of someone that doesn't know information. It just seems to be industrialized torture of people.
Yeah, and it's still carrying on today.
Of course.
You know, it's mad. Anyway, on to the next one, which is our sixth guru, yeah?
If we have a whole other presentation, we might need to speed it up with the gurus if we're only on number 6. I've got to say.
I need to actually leave a little bit early tonight because I've got to pick my brother up from the airport tomorrow, who I haven't seen in 6 years. He's flown over from Thailand.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
All right, we'll speed through it a little bit more.
This won't take long now. The sixth guru is the son of Guru Arjanji, who got flayed on the hot plate. And he was basically trained up by a Nahang called Baba Buddha, who was ordained by Guru Nanak Dev Ji, our first guru, who was given the knowledge of all the martial arts. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji, before he passed away, he told Baba Buddha to actually train up our sixth guru when he was 9. And by the time he was about 14, he was an expert. And that's when he first put on the 2 swords. The Miri and Piri, which is the temporal, and spiritual, which is like left and right, you know, both hands.
Yeah.
So, on to the next one. So anyway, he was the first guru to pick up the arms. And then obviously move on to the 9th guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, who was the son of, he's the son of Guru Har Gobind Ji, which is the 6th guru. So he came into the seat of Guruji, and he's the one who was beheaded because he wouldn't convert to Islam, and he actually gave his life to protect the Hindu faith as well, because a lot of Hindus were getting forcibly converted to Islam, and it was a Hindu priest that went to see our 9th Guru, Har Gobind Ji, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, to ask him to go and talk to the Mughal emperor. And when he did, obviously Guruji was arrested, and he was told, you set an example, you become a Muslim as well, convert to Islam. When he refused, he was sentenced to have his head cut off. So that's what happened. And then our 10th guru is the son of our 9th guru, The next slide. This one, the creator of the Khalsa. And before his father actually departed to Delhi to see the Mughal emperor at the time, he asked his son, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, shall I go? What do I do? And at the age of 9, our 10th Guru said to his father, go and protect what you have to do. Because he knew that his father's not coming back. And then after, obviously, he lost his father, he was initiated and he took the seat of being a guru. And he became a proper warrior. I mean, a real hardcore warrior. Now, you know, he trained up a lot of Nihangs. He fought a lot of battles, especially against Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb was the meanest Mughal emperor ever. I mean, he had a harem of about 5,000 women anyway. Plus he had so many wives and then all kinds of crap going on.
Wow, 5,000 women. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Aurangzeb, basically what happened is after a number of battles with Guruji, Aurangzeb wouldn't give up. And Guruji said to him, please give up. All your men are dying for no reason, because the Nihangs were so powerful by then. And their training and their combat skills were phenomenal, And Aurangzeb wouldn't give up. And he did some nasty things as well. And all Guruji did one particular day was send him a letter called a Zafarnama. And when Aurangzeb opened up the letter, which was sent by messengers, he couldn't put it down. For days, he just walked around in his palace, and and there were few simple lines in there that a man who doesn't speak the truth that he carries in his heart is not a man at all, and a few other things, yeah. And that drove Aurangzeb mad completely. He lost his mind, and he passed away very soon after that. And his actual grave is in on a main GT road, is called, yeah, which crosses all of India, but it's towards the Punjab side, and it's a big coffin. But nobody visits there. The only things that visit there are dogs, and they piss on it anyway, or they shit on it. And that's a fact. It's a fact. 100%.
Oh, no.
I've got pictures of it. You see dogs having a dump on his grave, and that's what happens. So next slide. Right, that's the Guru Granth Sahib, which is the everlasting Guru. Yeah, this is installed in all the Gurdwaras. Basically, people call it Sikh temples, but they're not temples. It's totally different. It's a Gurdwara. It's Guru's Dwara. That Guru lives there. So our everlasting Guru, our Guru Granth Sahib, been installed, and that's what we follow, and that's what we bow down to. That's it. That's the only thing we'll ever bow down to. Next slide. Actually, skip the next slide.
Next one.
That just shows you just all the gurus together, yeah. And then that one is a family tree of all the gurus, how they're connected. Obviously, I'm not going to go through this; it's going to take too long. But if people want, probably they want to watch it later, they can slow this down or pause it and go through it properly. And it all makes sense.
Yeah, people can pause it, take a screenshot, whatever, if they're watching on a device. Yeah, whatever.
And then the next slide is the timeline of the Sikh gurus, yeah? And at what ages they were gurus and how long they were here on this realm. And as you can see, the 8th guru, he was only 8 years old, the 7th guru rather, he was only 8 years old, and he passed away through leprosy, because that's all he used to do. He used to look after lepers and nothing else. Right, next slide. Right, we got the Sikh 5Ks. This is basically, the one, where am I? Here.
Look at this. This is some fantastic architecture right here.
Yeah. Now these are called Takhts, yeah? Sikh Takhts. There's 5 of them. Takht in Punjab, translated into English, means power, strength, foundation. So these are the 5 foundation spiritual places that were picked, or there was something very spiritual connected, or there was a guru that was actually there present, and that's why they've been built at that particular place. So you got city Akal Takht in Amritsar, which is in Amritsar itself, city of Amritsar, yeah? And it's right opposite as everybody calls it, the Golden Temple. But I don't call it that. I give it the proper name, which is Harmandir Sahib. Harmandir means Har, which is God. Man means inside, Dar. Yeah, so that means God within. And it reflects out. And that's where that's basically where the Golden Temple is. And the second one is in Bhatinda. One of the gurus was born there. The other one, Patna, is a city which is on the east of far east of India, and our 10th guru was born there. That's why there's a Akal Takht there. Then we got Nandan, which is further south in India, Maharashtra province. That's where a lot of Nahang Singhs actually still carry on old traditional Maryada, which is the way of life. So if you go there, you ever get the opportunity, you go and see a Nahang, you go into their camps or where they live, or you say, blimey, I've come back 300 years or what? Because it still lives the same way. They don't have any communication with the outside world in that sense. They don't carry mobiles or radios or anything like that. So yeah, it's quite interesting. And then the last one is Anandapur Sahib. That's another place where Guruji actually created the Khalsa Panth in 1699. So that's why there's a stuff there, yeah? On to the next slide. Right, you can see there, if you can recognize that, that's a golden temple, Harmandir Sahib, yeah? So
yeah, sure.
It's a view from the ground level, and then there's an aerial photography of it as well. And if you see the aerial photography, the Akal Takht is actually right across where that bridge is, where people walk, yeah? And that's the Akal Takht. That's a powerhouse. That's where all the decisions are made within Sikhi, even today.
How old is this structure?
Oh, my brother. It was actually built in, they say it was completed around about 1530 to 1570.
Not 1633.
That's what they say. I'm just going by the narrative.
I'm only messing.
1366.
It's a little rise above Joe.
No, there's too many numbers are going on here. Wow, this is impressive.
Yeah, the top of that is actually plated in gold, which Maharaja Ranjit Singh Ji donated.
Oh my God, I've just thought, this is, whereabouts is this?
Amritsar.
And this still exists today, right?
Oh yeah, there's 100,000 people that go there every day.
Right. There's a YouTube channel called Bold and Bankrupt, and he's like a travel adventurer. And him and his mate, they went here and they jumped in the side and they tried to swim because there's now a hotel in. Is it right that you can stay in the middle, or is it still a temple?
No. That's still the Gurdwara. Nobody can stay in there.
No, there must be another place then. Yeah, because if maybe they did try to swim there anyway, a boat came and stopped them. They thought it was a hotel. Maybe they were wrong. But there's a video of these guys, and they jumped in here and they tried to swim across, and a boat came and stopped them. And
right,
but they said in their video they said it was a hotel, but the guys pulled guns on them, and they started shouting them, and it clearly wasn't a hotel. Bunch of idiots.
No, wouldn't be. It's not a hotel. That's where the original Guru Granth Sahib is actually installed.
Mate, you're not finding this on Airbnb, Lance.
No. These guys are obviously idiots. They thought it was a hotel. That's what they said. Oh, we're gonna stay in that exclusive hotel, and they just jumped in with waterproof bags and their camera. Yeah, no wonder they almost got shot.
This is an awesome place. You really got to visit it. You ever get a chance to go to India? Yeah, make sure this is one of the places that you do go and visit. It's absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, next slide. This shows the 5Ks, yeah? It's basically initiated Sikh coming into the faith properly. You keep the kesh, which is the uncut hair. That's why we wear our damala to keep the hair clean. Then we don't cut no hair at all on our body. We're forbidden, yeah? But we got the kanga, which is a comb, a wooden comb. And it actually does keep your hair really tidy. It's a lot better than all the plastic crap that we use as combs. You need to get a wooden one. I would recommend that to everybody. And then further down, we got the kara, which is a bracelet which goes around the wrist, yeah? And that's a weapon of war as well. Yeah. Can you see that, yeah?
I'll just show it on the screen now. Yeah, we can see.
Yeah. So basically, that's a kara. And it should come off very easily.
So it can be used like a knuckle duster.
That's what it is a weapon of war. Yeah. And not only that, we put them in our damallas as well, and also we throw them like a chakkar, which there's a video coming up a bit later about that. Yeah, in a bit. Okay. So that's the kara. And that's the 5Ks, and obviously we got the kashara, which is they're shorts, but they're long shorts, and they come down to your knees. and they're very loose, and we tie them with a string. Because as men, to have tight trousers, tight underwear is bad for us, yeah? So these were actually given to us by Guruji because he knew that we need to be free down there. And if you're not free down there, you can't even fight. You know that, don't you? Next one.
Next one.
It's a video. Yeah, play that video.
Okay.
This is about the flat earth, yeah?
Okay, I'm going to do a bunch of short videos of the Sikh version of how everything's been changed from NASA into the pseudoscience to fit what they want. So after you understand that the Jesuits have changed these words, Akash, Mandal, Brahman, Chodalok. Chodalok is the 14 worlds, and Saptap Deep is the 7 continents that are supposed to be in Gurbani. Everything has been changed. The word Rakia in Jewish form is the firmament, and so in here we'll show you the word Rakia is right here, and that's what they're going to tell you in transliteration. And right here they don't tell you saying the firmament, and we're saying that it's hanging from the thread of patience, meaning the firmament is hanging from the pole star, and it spins around the pole star like if it's hanging from a thread. But see, they don't tell you that the word Rakia, because the word Rakia in Punjabi means to protect, to, like, if you want to think of us as on the flat plane of existence, and the Rakia is the dome over our head that we see every night spinning of the stars, and the sun and the moon are within it, just like it says in every other religion. So this is one of the first proofs that I noticed a long time ago, and I started looking into it, and so this is the way that people have put the pseudoscience of the globe into thinking that that's how it works. And it's, if you know that the Jesuits have changed these words and understand that these are what it means, and then you can start to read Gurbani and understand. So I'll show you the English. This is a kata. It's on 1360, and this is like a study form, but this is translated with the word firmament as well. So it's saying, if man becomes subtle like an atom and courses through the firmament, the continents and the worlds and the regions in the twinkling of an eye, even then, O Nanak, is he emancipate not without the saint. Meaning that even though people now know that about the firmament, even if you were able to be in like a little, like, kind of a spaceship or little atom-sized thing that can go through the firmament and look at everything, you still need a holy person to help you understand everything. Just because you know about the firmament now that NASA's lying and everyone knows, you still need to be with the holy people. You can't just kind of party out and do what everybody's wanting to, thinking that life's just a game, that you can just party through, die, and nothing happens. I mean, once you understand the firmament's real and that NASA's hiding it from everybody, that they even come through and do new editions where this won't say firmament, it'll say sky or something different, to where they don't want you to know that the firmament is real. And they give us the CGI and all the false pseudoscience, like if they could weigh the moon. Like, people believe that you could, like, literally say NASA can say that they can weigh the moon. Like, there's no way anybody in the world could ever pick up the moon and put it on a scale for us to trust, but yet we, tend to trust just because they have the prestige. But once you find out that they're lying, you'll come back and read Gurbani, and it's better to get these old translations before NASA, because it says firmament all throughout. I've had debates where people, I was looking through a different one, and the guy told me, oh, that's wrong, it's not real, that's not how it works. But this one says the firmament too. and the nether regions, so hell and its regions of hell. And it's saying that everybody, all the people in hell, are praising the name of the Creator because they don't want to be there. They want to get out of the hell. And see here, they add the word sphere. Anytime they do this, it's wrong. It's making you think that that's what it means, and that's not. You have to understand the 14 lokas are basically, Bhumandal is the flat surface of what we live in, and it's got 7 rings, is what it says in Gurbani. And these nether worlds, these nether regions, or the 14 worlds, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 7 above us. And they're all stacked up within this Brahman, this egg. And they want you to think it's spheres, meaning like you have to go through the NASA CGI pseudoscience in order to understand. But this is the real thing that we live on. And so Karambhumi in Japji is telling you that the inner 3 rings are the only ones that you can be in order to do good karma, to then go to moksha or one with the Creator or anything like that. And if you don't understand the Brahman being the reality that we live in and not the pseudoscience, you're going to think globe, and globe doesn't even make sense. So the 14 lokas, if you look at a NASA picture, there is no upper heavens that you see 14, 7 up and 6 down. You don't see any of that. So these are proofs that if you can look past these pseudoscience of NASA that they try to add in here, you'll know that this is the reality. The sun, this is the dome, or the Gagan Tag that's mentioned in Sohila. So I'll make a few videos that are going to be stacked up, showing you all the different ways that it says firmament. It's always said firmament, and they have changed them lately to make it fit their pseudoscience, and then people are going along with it, and that's why the state of people right now are not good. So I'll start making a few videos of all the different translations and books and everything that all say the same thing. They say the firmament. And anytime I've ever gone to any of the Gurdwara, they argue with me that the pseudoscience is correct, and they've never even mentioned or understood what the reality really is. So I'm going to show the proof first of all the firmament and all that within Gurbani, and then I can just kind of mirror some of the videos from other flat earthers, and then they can see scientifically how the earth is flat, and then it's really flat. And then they can go back and see Gurbani for what it really is, and it'll open their eyes. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
So that's quite interesting.
The firmament.
Seven depths of hell, 7 levels above. It sort of echoed throughout of all the Eastern mystery religions and schools that was sort of the model. A flat
the shape of it with the rings around it is somewhat Atlantis.
As above, so below. Yeah. And maybe we live on one of those rings.
Yeah. Obviously, it's been manipulated, and we've been given crap information that we live on a ball, but we don't. It's flat.
But
with the roof above.
But in a sense, we do. There is a dome above it, and it seems to be like a dome below as well. So it's like
level.
It's been copied and misinterpreted. All right, can I just get the other presentation up? There it is.
Right.
We're aware in the studio that the chat has stopped.
Yeah, we can't see the chat. We've got our chat we can't see the chat from 5 past. It's 18 minutes old. Our chat's not updating, so we haven't got any interaction with you guys, which is a bit of a shame. But we know you're all still there. 211 people tuned in. Let me just get the second one up. There we go. Okay, so Nihangs.
Yeah, these are the warriors. Yeah, Nihangs. Basically us. So go on to the next slide. Now, before you play the video, I must tell you that the first 30 seconds, it might upset a few people. So if you're squeamish or you don't like the sight of blood or something like that, don't watch for the next 30 seconds.
Okay. All right, that's a trigger warning, yeah?
Yeah, this is how Nihangs are. This is the...
So these are Sikh warriors. Who are the Nihangs? I'll play this and put it on full screen.
सुनो 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 सारे साडी कहानी वी आर किंग पर हड्डी कोई रानी जना थन मैं कुछ गल्ला सुनानी मुंडे लाके खड़े में मत ना जानी हड्डे नाल लड़ेगा तले लाले मरेगा बचना है औखा दस की करेगा तू कहना छड़ दो नाल दा कहे वड़ दे नु इथे गड़ दो दे दा कंडा हड्डे नाल बैरिया पंगा ना तू पाली एक हड्डा बड़ा वीर बैठा जत्ते वाली पंगा पैना ते हड्डे पास बंदे होने 40 फिर तू रोएगा किस्मत माड़ी मेरी साली एक यार हड्डा तन जिने की पूरी तन एक हाथ तेग ते दूजे हाथ गन एक यार मन वीर दिंदा विच बंदा चेर एक यार हड्डा घुमन 3 फुट तेग नाल फुमन चक यार रमणी ते प्यारी वाली बात दी ते जिने लीग कहंदा टप के वखा तू आ गए हड्डे पाल हुन मार के ही जा तू सुने है विला तू दुनिया नु चके इको गल समझा तू सुन ओए ए बंदे जी वेका ओ लाइव कर दे गल्लां कट यूज कर दे स्नैप चैटा ए बंदे जी वेका ओ वेखे ना बल वैरिया नु आंदे हार्ट अटैक ए बंदे जी वेका दमाले सिरां ते तू बस पौना ही खैटा ए बंदे जी वेका ओ लोडेड रामा जंगे ते कमर कसे टैटा उतो ने इमोर्टल किन्ने वैरी मारे अजे तक गिनती नहीं टोटल वायदे ने इमोर्टल ओ पैर जे तरिए वेख खुलदे सारे फोट शस्त्र रंग संग ताही वैरी हड्डा हाडे कोलों होया तंग वेपन नंग संग ताही वैरी हड्डा हाडे कोलों होया तंग गायदे ने अंगा या वी आर निहंग गायदे ने अंगा हर फील्ड दे विच गायदे ने अंगा बटरफ्लाई कोई माड़ा देखदा गायदे ने अंगा सोना छड़ो गायदे ने अंगा शकदे आदे गत लेंदे पूरा आनंद गायदे ने अंगा ओ चुप करके तुर शेर दियां अखां बांदा गायदे ने अंगा रब दी रजा च ए रहिंदे मस्त मलांगा गायदे ने अंगा नकलियां दा मेरे सामने संगा बांदा गायदे ने अंगा गायदे ने अंगा नाले ओ सिद्धी देग नु माड़ा कहंदे ओ मल्ले ते बाटी के कर कर बहंदे ओ हाले ओ कमेंटां च हाडे ना कहंदे ओ सामने आउण ते सेल्फी लेंदे ओ
Okay.
Right. Okay. Okay. Let me just start by saying that was an animal sacrifice, wasn't it?
It's not a sacrifice. It's actually killing the animal, but with compassion.
Right.
Because the animal doesn't see the blade coming, so it's not afraid.
But what was the reason for killing the animal?
Well, Nihangs are considered as lions, yeah.
Right.
Because we got so. You show me one lion in the jungle that eats grass.
No, but that's what I'm asking. Listen, mate, I eat meat. Were they eating the animal? Were they eating the animal, or were they doing an offering?
No, it's actually cut up and cooked and
right.
eaten.
Okay. So, because I was about to say, listen, if you're gonna do an animal, like that was some Jedi shit. Like that animal's head was flying off before the animal knew anything happened. Its head was already like 2 or 3 foot away from its body. That was a very humane way of killing something. It saw nothing.
I mean, the goat probably didn't even see the blade coming, so it wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
Obviously, you probably watch videos with cows and cattle and everything being forced into slaughterhouses, and they're crying.
Yes.
So what happens is, with all that fear, it goes into their stem cells, into their cells, and we eat that shit. But actually, killing the animal this way, where it doesn't know it's coming, it's quick. It's called chatka.
Right.
Chatka means one blow, one hit, or one shot. Yeah, quick kill.
Isn't this kind of the opposite? And I don't want to offend any Muslims here because I offend everyone equally. Isn't this kind of the opposite of what's the halal meat, where basically you pierce the animal's neck and it bleeds out slowly? This is the exact opposite.
Yes.
So
well, a lot of Muslims will probably hate me for saying this, and I will get a lot of bashing, but doing the halal, you actually cut this side of the neck and this side, yeah? And then let it bleed. But the animal's asleep, but within, it's still got that carrying the fear, yeah?
Yeah.
So we still eat fear because it goes throughout the body. The fear starts in the head, in the brain. So the way that goat was cut quickly, that fear didn't go down to the rest of his body. But when you start slowly doing this,
I mean, again, I don't want to offend any Muslims, but from what I know about hunting, so like, you know, when you hunt an animal in the wild, you need to kill it cleanly. You don't want it to run away where it pumps cortisol into the muscles, adrenochrome, and it spoils the meat. Okay, so from my understanding, this is why you would take an effort to dispose of the animal before you kill it. And I've always sort of looked at halal and I was like, well, isn't that the opposite of what you're trying to achieve? You're basically
direct trauma.
You're letting the animal bleed out slowly. You need to kill it instantly. Like, so yeah.
One shot, quick kill. That's it. And that's what our Guruji gave us. He told us, you are allowed to eat meat because you're a warrior. You know, you can't. I know there are a lot of Sikhs out there that are going to say, oh, but you're not supposed to eat meat and all that. But what happened is, Sikhi got manipulated when, obviously, when the British took over, and
so it's our fault.
No,
it is. We fucked up Islam as well with Wahalid al-Bahi, you know, the Wahhabist infiltrator. We probably did the same with Sikhism.
I don't blame the British. I blame the redcoats, i.e., Buckingham Palace.
The order followers.
Yeah? The red shields.
Yeah, the red shields. So that's what it is, a quick kill. But obviously there's going to be a lot of Sikhs out there who are vegetarians, who are initiated, because they've been given the wrong information. Because Sikhi got manipulated. What happened is, because the Nihangs were so powerful and they couldn't handle us, they put their own people in there who were Brahmins. And Brahmins from the Hindu faith, they are vegetarians. Right. And they're the ones changing Sikhi from within. Okay. So that's what we do today. But the real Nihangs know what the truth is. So we don't associate ourselves too much with what's going on in the outside world. We keep in the old traditions.
Sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The next slide. It just basically gives you where that's the one. It shows you. This is my. Go on to the next one. We can skip this. And this shows my master. And that's a video, yeah?
This is a video,
okay. I am Nidar Singh Nahang, and I practice Sanatan, timeless, Shastra, weapons, Vidya, science. So the science of timeless Indian weapons is what I practice. It's the ancient Indian battlefield art, which hitherto has been kept, as you would know, very secretive. In 1984, I went back to see my grandparents, and just by chance I met an old master of the art, and he was looking for a student. Now, from a young age I was pretty physical. I stayed with my grandparents early on, when I was about 5 to 10. My grandfather was a wrestling champion, and so his training regime, exercise regime, he's imparted to me, so I kept that up over here. And this Pacific wrestling regime of Indian wrestling built my physique in a particular way which was conducive to Shastra Vidya as well.
We have this, and this is the ekdant, and that's the trunk. So when someone comes to grab, we step in here. You see this? So this hand, I want to protect this area as well. The female should protect this area. Comes to grab, I have this thing, and then I'm off. So if you notice this, as soon as he grabs, I will hit. He wants to grab, I'm here. Into the eyes, and then I turn, and then I run. So I'm here. And he wants to grab. He wants to come and grab me. So I put this hand here. These hands here. From here, my hands. Then I use my legs. I can kick. I can do this, and then off I go. Ideally, I see him, and then I run. The first line of defense is learning how to run. But if he comes to grab, I do this. So here, his mouth cannot come near me. The one who's lighter, one who has the most sensitive touch, will be the most successful here. Okay? So watch. Give him a bit of energy, see which way he's going, how he's responding to it. He's pushing it out.
Now, as he pushes it out, let me show you, like, watch it. I'm here. He pushes it out. There. But watch. He's done that. But look at my thumb. I'm controlling this. I'm controlling, not with my grip. If I grip, I'll tighten up here. My thumb's there. Now watch. I'll bring this in and take that out. And this here is mine as well. Read energy. Tran, bal, and think in terms of akarshan, and think in terms of gati. So compressive energy and kinetic energy. And then it's a question of which one is going where. Like watch, he wants to cut there, I'll move with it. He wants to strike there, I'll move with it. I'm still controlling that blade. I'm not grabbing it, I'm manipulating it. I'm using the braces with the hilt and the flat to take it off. So back again, doesn't matter if it takes you slowly, go. Like this here, I'm putting the handle over the shield, so I'm pulling it there. There, this is then, it's taken here. Now I can chop his, that's it, armpit where it's vulnerable. Peripheral must be understood of the blade. So in order to understand the peripheral, you must understand the flex in the legs and the arms, so because all this, okay? We approach, not this way, but here. In our style, as he goes to thrust or whatever, we meet the hand down, we move in, okay? He may be doing this. His idea is like any hand that comes in, I'm going to chop, okay? What we do here is, we move with it. You see where we move? So the problem with that is, he has to stop and do this. Now we're going back in. And we wait for the stop. You can do all he wants. That is not this here. He has to do this, bang. It's your timing, your composure. These skills are higher skills. Okay? So from here, we're doing this. We're stepping in. Here, here. See that meant we're stepping in. He wants to do this. We want. And the thing is, if we did this, and we then spill into it, he can step backwards and carry on. He'll pull back. He'll do this, then pull back, and strike, then pull back. If we didn't advance and offset his range. Okay? So we're coming in. Here, here, see that? So I'm always offsetting the range. See, I'm always offsetting the range. How far can he put his arm back? How far can I advance? And I'm advancing now to misalignment. A misalignment. He's going there. Now watch. I'm going to turn it with a brace. And then put it against my body, and then move my body behind it. And then I'm going to turn the blade onto himself, break his thumb. So that's how we encountered his ancestors. Now as they come, watch this now. I'm going to hit the middle with a sword to control. I won't go either side. As I get too old, I can't run about. The simple strategy for beginners, if I was a beginner, I would teach you to fight like this. For beginners, like that level, you will go and run to the peripheral. And then push them in and go through. That's the basic stuff. Or you just run and get to your cousins and your brothers and hit back, ambush and so on. So all those little things are there. Like. But sometimes on the battlefield, okay, I'll use this. We're here. As they come, we hit the middle. So what we're doing is we're hitting the middle. Now watch, I'm in here, I'm controlling him, I'm here. I'm going to hit that there. As they move around, I want to hit here and reach across. And watch my feet. I'm using my feet to control all them. Now these are the weapons, they can cut me. So I'm going to cut heads, arms, femorals, all this. And all the time I'm still looking for the next guy. Here, the ribs were broken here. So all this is being done. Okay? More energy. If you're thinking in terms of thrusting, so they will come in like the all three musketeer types. Okay, so you must, the idea is to address, okay, the thrust, again, so the typical thrust of whatever mentality, again, they're coming thrust, if they're coming in, closing in, I'll come in here. You see this one here, that's what you want. As they thrust, you draw them in. This sword here is going to take them right across their hands. Okay? Cut. So from here, it gets in here. So as they come in, see this one here, bang, straight there. See that one here is that close to the eye. His energy forward will use by twisting it, and that makes in there. By the time he'll get in here, see this is there now. See him, watch. My concern is not him, because I'm controlling him. He can't kill me, but he can. So I now change my priority to him and then move with him. Okay, if he came in, he'll just twist here. See that? As by the time he gets in here, that's right through there. So by understanding distance, understanding alignment, and understanding taking of a superior tactical positioning, and then engaging. Keep your composure. So I'll look at this is how I'm going to look now. I'm going to hit my peripheral vision so I can catch your motion. I will take note where their center line is. Rather than watching limbs, arms or legs, with too many, with 3 people, we're talking about 4 threes, 12, no point. Here. So I've now peripheral vision. I'll tilt my head down, not look upwards, tilt. So I now get a nice panoramic vision. I'm always going to watch the ground as well, because more than you lot, it's the terrain that can cause me problems. If we lose our footing, we lose everything. So footing, being sure-footed, is the key to it there. So from here, it looks at him. It looks at him. His distance, I'm measuring, move across. You see this one? See, I'll move across. This is there. But I'm not going to go for, this is, I'm dealing with him, I'm going there. So while he's preoccupied, I'll go here. He hasn't moved yet. And so on. From here, I can go through here, there. Mentality, again, boom, straight there. So they go in, here, move, there. See that one? See now, this will be in his way. That will be in his way. I'm going to learn how to manipulate that. As he comes on top, there. That's it. Snap, straight down. You hold him down, and you pull it, and you snap right through here. You can also use this method. So as they engage, this here, there, here, here. So this one here comes in there. This one. So as it comes in, the here, touch the foot slightly, you push across, move here, there. See what this is now here. So as you hit that, he can't hit until we're in range. Now watch, this one done here right away. As that's coming in, you guys watch, as this is there now. As he comes in, if I did nothing, that's going to hit there. What I've done is, see that? That's there. I'll push it in. Look, watch. If I slap it away, that's energy you can easily read. That's more better. The softer you are, the stronger you are. The smoother you are, the faster you are. Okay? So we're here. Mentality. See this? This is now automatically opened up. Or control the arms.
The vibrant fabric of Indian life contains a hidden thread of terrifying and brutal weapons. A throwing device that could sever a man's limb. A sword that history tells us killed 9 men in one attack. And a booby trap that could have inspired a Hollywood film. These are the twisted weapons of ancient India. There is a...
I'm just breaking this up because I'm just conscious this is from the History Channel, and if we show more than 30 seconds at a time, we could get a copyright strike. So I'm just going to break that up, and then I'll start playing it again.
16th century Indian text called the Akbarnama.
These things are very often wonderfully illustrated with superb miniatures in extreme detail.
Once again, I'm just going to break it up because this is an educational presentation where we happen to be showing something from the History Channel. We are not breaking copyright.
Which show armour and weaponry and all the slightly particularly in Mughal India, slightly bizarre weaponry that they tended to go in for.
An illustration of a battle described in the Akbarnama clearly shows what looks like circular metal objects being...
Wow. That's like the Predator, where he throws that disc that like just slices through everything.
...used as weapons. What are these frisbee-like devices the warriors are using? Investigations point towards a weapon known as the chakra, an ancient Indian projectile.
The chukka, aptly named. And I'm just interspersing this with me talking to avoid copyright strikes.
Nidar Singh is a member of the Sikh warrior tribe known as the Akali Nihang. They were the front line of the Sikh army created in the early 17th century.
Akali Nihang is a traditional...
This guy is clearly some sort of super badass.
He's a martial arts master.
Oh no, what's happened there? Oh dear.
You got off.
I pressed the wrong button. Let me just get back to where we were.
The knee hangs.
Oh no, do you know what? I pressed on...
The knee hangs are hard as fuck.
Yeah, we got to here.
On here. So what we have is almost a flat ring. So the bottom will be slightly flat, slightly asymmetric curve here, gives you a bit of airfoil, and what you have at outer edge is sharp as possible. So the idea is when it's thrown, at any single point wherever it touches, it will cut.
It's basically a flying frisbee knife.
Yeah.
That is super cool.
Cut. So rather than a conventional throwing knife that can only do damage with one single point, the idea of a chakra is that it doesn't matter where he hits, it will do damage with. And as he spins, it digs through, cuts through. So he may hit here, but spinning, it widens the wound, digs in further.
An account from a traveller to ancient India, Duarte...
I guess, unlike a boomerang, you can't like catch this weapon. you don't want to catch this weapon.
Barbosa reveals the startling ways in which the chakra was used. And they carry 7 or 8 of these each put on the left arm, and they take one and put it on the finger of the right hand and make it spin round many times. And so they hurl it at their enemies, and if they hit anyone on the arm or leg or neck, it cuts through all. Would it be possible for the chakra to actually sever a limb, as Barbosa wrote? In ancient times, the Sikhs would use sugarcane to...
Just going to pause it there again. One sec. Oh, for fuck's sake.
They're the defense
size from these ancient battle the Sikhs...
So what we have is anything...
An account from a traveller to ancient India, Duarte Barbosa, reveals the startling ways in which the chakra was used. And they carry 7 or 8 of these each put on many times. It cuts through all. Would it be possible for the chakra to actually sever a limb, as Barbosa wrote? In ancient times, the Sikhs would use sugarcane to test their weapons.
Traditionally, they consider sugarcane to be the same consistency of bones. So even in Sikh rituals, where they do sacrifices and so on to the goddess Chandi, they employ sugarcanes to represent limbs.
To test the chakra, sugarcane will be used in keeping with the practices of the ancient Sikhs.
I can't wait to see if this actually slices off a limb. Go on.
Will the chakra be able to cut through a limb?
The answer is yes.
Yep.
Through our investigations, we have discovered that Barbosa's account was true. The ancient Indian...
It looks like he cut through it like effortlessly.
Engineers created a weapon capable of slicing through a man's limb.
That's it.
Wow. Mate, that seemed pretty badass. Like that was like that's like those guys are ready for war. Like actual. Wait a minute, you've got one right there.
Mine is not that sharp, but you can get them sharpened. It goes on top of the mullah. Yeah.
Wow. So you could have like 7 or 8 on your head and just whip them off.
Take them out and throw.
That'll end an argument quickly, wouldn't it?
Yeah. What it is, Master Nidar Singh. Somebody asked him a question. A lady that came from Holland, I think. She said, "So how do Sikhs fight?" He looked at her and he said, "Sikhs don't fight. We kill." That's it.
Wow.
End of. Yeah.
Okay. So how do we reconcile this the ability to literally throw a spinning blade and cut someone's limb off, or to kill, with being the peaceful protector?
We're fighting oppression, yeah, or for self-defense. But you got to be ready. You got to know what you're doing.
So this is like the path of a samurai.
Yeah, the samurai actually came out of the Nahang. That's another chapter which I can, give you a talk on for about 2-3 hours. But that's another story. So yeah, that's where we are. I think you got one video left, yeah? The last one.
So this is another aspect of Sikh culture, I guess you would say, which is the artistic music side. Right. So let me just get this video.
Chill out, because you gotta have a laugh and fun, yeah. And this is what Sikh is all about. It's not all about being serious all the time. You've got to have fun.
Okay, so this is a little video about Bhangra music. All right, let me just play this.
Just intro into Bhangra.
Bhangra, what is Bhangra? Following video clips give an idea of what Bhangra dance and music is all about.
मेरा सीना पाड़ दिया अखियां तेरियां हो अखियां तेरियां जट नू वगाड़ दिया अखियां तेरियां हो अखियां तेरियां जट नू वगाड़ दिया अखियां तेरियां जट नू वगाड़ दिया अखियां तेरियां रेशमी वे मेरे लक तो तिलकदा जावे गुत्त बन गई सपनी वे
So what is Bhangra? Basically, Bhangra is a fusion of music and dance which originates from the Punjab region of India and Pakistan, which is in the north. In its earliest form, it was a folk dance that farmers used to do during the Vaisakhi season, which is spring, coming in April, and celebrated around about the 13th or 14th of April every year. Basically, it's the coming of spring and fresh lambing season, fresh growth, all that's good basically in nature. So yeah, Vaisakhi is a good time celebration. Bhangra now has evolved in the past 30 years or so. It has become integrated into popular Asian culture after being mixed with hip hop, house, and reggae styles of music. It has come a long way from its humble beginnings in the Punjab region and is recognized now and enjoyed throughout the world. The costumes the Bhangra dancers normally wear are always bright, colourful, and vibrant, and they highlight the high energy of the music and dance. Here we see traditional costumes worn by men. At the very top we have the todla, and it's shaped like a fan, which is placed within the turban. And then obviously we have the turban, which is normally freshly tied around the head. Next is a chuggi, which is a waistcoat but without buttons, leading down to the kurta, which is a long shirt, but normally made of silk or fine cotton and is always embroidered. The chadar, which is much like a loincloth and is tied around the waist with pleats to the front. The women's costume is equally vibrant and colourful as the men's. At the top is a chunni or dupatta worn across the shoulders and over the head, with some reaching the waist and can be wrapped around the torso. The kameez is a long shirt or tunic with side seams left open, which makes it easier for the wearer to move around. Then we have the salwar, which is a loose pajama-like trousers and with wide legs at the top, narrowing at the ankles. The two main instruments used in Bhangra music are the dhol, which is a drum, and the thumbi, which just has one string. The dhol is a large two-headed barrel-shaped wooden drum played with two sticks. A dagga, which is played on the bass side, and a tilli, which is played on the treble side. And in India, the drum skins are traditionally made out of goat skin. The thumbi is also called a tumba and is an instrument made of wood with a single metallic string which passes across a bridge and is tied to a tuning key at the end of the stick and is played by just the first finger to produce the sound. The dance and the beat was associated primarily with the spring harvest festival of Vaisakhi, and it is from one of these major products of the harvest, bhang, which is basically hemp, that Bhangra got its name from. Hemp is still considered to be a medicinal plant in Punjab and is still popular today, has been for centuries. Bhangra is not only fun and joyous activity, but it is also a great cardio workout. Just around about 20 to 30 minutes of Bhangra dancing has many health benefits. And there are many classes that can be found online that anyone can participate in, beginners to advanced. So yeah, go ahead, give it a go and have fun. That basically concludes our brief look into Bhangra dance and music. So join in and have fun, people. And thanks for watching. Sat Sri Akal.
That's really interesting, mate. I really like it. The energy, the vibrations, the music itself, the dance. Yeah. It's all very invigorating. It's all very uplifting.
Oh, it's very popular, especially at weddings, parties and stuff. Yeah.
Well, you know that kind of sound is creeps into mainstream Western music as well. Those Bhangra riffs are all over. You know, hip hop, R&B, all different types of dance music. It's not just it's not just been sampled. It's there. It's part of the pastiche now, and an important part. So yeah, I think it's very interesting to put all this together. We have, you have the story of these gurus. We have this warrior culture. As well as this very expressive artistic culture of dance and music. And not only that, from my point of view, it's very good to see, a traditional belief system like this representing and embodying the benefits of something like dance. Like, some religions say don't dance, music is the devil, right? So then you've got Sikhs saying, actually, listen, if you put on Bhangra music and you partake in it, and you're actually, whether you're beating a drum or dancing, you're actually invigorating and healing yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
And raising your vibration.
Yeah. It's sort of it reminds me a little bit of Sufi Islam with the whirling dervishes and the dancing, and it's all the collective, and I've talked about this a lot on Rise Above. I made my bread and butter being a rave MC for 20 years, and in the hazy mist of those raves with that repetitive tribal dance music, the path of the MC is almost like a shaman, and you're guiding those people through. So I've seen, the power of dancing and the collective, and my lyrics about anyone that listens to my music, I talk about this. The massive.
I love it. Your lyrics are really deep. Really deep.
I've always tried to really, express the deepest understanding I could of, of what we're observing, what we're experiencing together. And when I was watching that, I was really sort of getting the essence of what I've been trying to explain in some of my songs. Is the massive come together in hordes to feed off the energy source, and when you come together and you move in a collective, the aggregated force is palpable. It's something that you can all actually feel. I can feel it right now. Hey, I can feel it right now just talking about it, because I've experienced it so many times. And not only that, I've been in the position to almost be a conductor of it, because that's the path that the MC takes. It's to stand there and be the conduit between the person. So in the Bhangra music, it would be the vocalist. Exactly the same point. It's the conduit between the people providing the vibration with the drums and the instruments, and those receiving it and forecasting it back. And that triad, that reciprocal triad, that I was very fortunate to be able to be a part of on many occasions. I can speak of this from first-hand experience. It's a very powerful thing. It's very powerful.
So you get it. You understand.
Yeah, it's everything. It really is.
Is Andy PG gone?
And yeah, sorry. By the way, Andy PG had to go. He's got a very early start tomorrow morning. So yeah, in the middle of that video, he leaves. So yeah, goodbye from Andy PG.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So listen, mate, this has been an amazing insight, because, like I said before tonight, hello, Emma Beats. Oh yeah, come into the chat. I didn't really know an awful lot about the Sikh movement, the Sikh belief system. So it's been a great insight. Omar Beats, a minute ago, you were listening to some of those tunes and you were like,
the Dumbi, man. It's the Dumbi, that's the one.
He was asking about one of the instruments. He's like, I need to sample that instrument.
Yeah, actually, what I was going to ask you, actually, Tapao, is that have you got like a musical contact which do like this sort of style of Bhangra music, like live Bhangra?
Yeah.
Particularly,
I've got a few.
Yeah, I'd like to meet someone who's good with the Dumbi. Is it that's the one string instrument, isn't it? Because I used to have one, and I've always thought, I know it's a bit naive, I always thought it was African because that's where it came from, right? It came from someone who bought it from Africa, but obviously Sikhs live everywhere,
It's everywhere.
So so it's interesting because it's actually broken, because I used to like teach different sort of like aspects of music in a youth club, and unfortunately one of the boys broke the strings. However, I know I've still got the instrument, so it'd be interesting to now know.
It'd be good to revive it.
Yeah, it would be, and it would also be very good. Now I can see how it's played properly, and he's put some, like the guy on the last video you played was he had some little cutouts on the what would be on a guitar, a fretboard, I suppose, but
Yeah, yeah.
So it's interesting to see that because I've not really seen that live before, like you said.
I think it's very cool that you can get all those, like, such a good sound out of an instrument with one string.
Oh, it's nuts. It's
That's
really
special.
good.
And it's so simple, isn't it?
Yeah, no, but hey, simple but effective. That's what I like.
So years ago, there was a drum and bass producer called Nasher, who was probably one of the first drum and bass Sikh producers.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, and his music was heavy, and he used to put a lot of that style into his music. But I haven't seen him for time.
I used to listen to a lot of Indian dubstep producers.
Yeah, it goes very well with English underground bass music. I
Shook
think.
Knight and Square Wave. I'm not sure if they're Indian or Punjabi or Pakistani. I'm not sure, but like a lot of their they were big dubstep producers, and a lot of their biggest tunes always had that, and it was that this instrument. It sounded like either a sitar. Or what was the instrument you just said?
It's a dumbi, isn't it? That's what they
A
call
dumbi.
it.
A very simple one-string instrument.
Yeah.
Those riffs that can be created off that. There's something about that simplicity. It's sort of ineffable, and I'm not like academically studied in music. I know what I'm talking about, but I'm not academically studied. I don't know all the Italian words for all those sort of different sounds, but there's something very special about when you're just playing that very simple melody on a one-string instrument.
But it's not a simple melody though. If you listen to it, it's got its own scale, hasn't it? It's not.
Yeah, but I mean, in the respect, there's only so many notes that you're going to really get out of one string because you're not using the full. In one respect, it is quite simple, but it like you say, complex in its own right.
I think by the look of how he played it in that very short video, it was like a lesson. I saw everything, all my mistakes of when I was trying to play it before. I saw all of them in
You
that
just
one.
saw a masterclass.
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh yeah, of course that makes complete sense now.
So Dave Powell, what you've done there is you've given us like a proper sort of a deep dive, but a starter class in the faith, in the belief system, which I think has been a real insight, certainly for me, and I hope for the viewers as well.
So one thing I've got, because I've been listening to the other room while I've been sort of in your bathroom, that it's not just a faith; it looks more like a way of life, much similar to how Rastafari.
I was about to say it seems to be more like a spiritual practice. More like Rastafari than an actual dogmatic belief system.
So I had to come on because I missed you guys last time. I wasn't able to come for the Sikh 101 last time.
Oh, right, you weren't here?
I wasn't here, no.
Right.
No,
okay.
I was. In fact, I was doing more work in your house last time.
Oh, well, you were doing DIY last time as well. Omer improvements.
Oh, bless you.
He has his uses.
Yeah, sometimes, eh?
Yeah, so let's rewind it a bit. This is the practice that saved you from a previous darkness, okay?
Yeah.
Now, off the back of the last dip into what happened to you before, loads of people in the comments, in the live chat, there were questions, because you said many things, but we didn't really go into detail a lot. And, I guess people really want to know, like, when you were there and you were attending the lodges and, you'd been brought in and you'd seen the benefits, with, you're meeting people there and you're making connections. What was the real first proper red flag that you witnessed when you were having a lodge meeting that made you think, this isn't what I thought it was?
It was about, I'd say, 18 months into it when I was getting constantly, because I was always saying yes to whatever they were asking me to do, like attend different meetings and fill in for different officers.
Did you go up the ranks in that 18 months? Did you get like a higher level? You start off like a craft mason, or something. First of all,
obviously,
Scottish or Yorkshireite?
Scottish,
right? Okay.
Yeah. So obviously, I entered as an apprentice, and then the fellow craft, which is the second level, that I became a master mason. Yeah. I became a master mason on the 3rd of March 2010. That's the day I got the certificate from the lodge. And I don't know if you remember, but I was telling you that when I got the certificate, which was actually signed by the Duke of Kent at the head Masonic Lodge in London, the Grand Lodge, because it was actually signed in proper ink, and everything, and properly stamped. I was told not to display it anywhere on the wall or whatever, but the date on there was the 3rd of March, okay, 6010.
6010.
Not 2010, but 6010.
So, wow, wait, whoa. This is like, this goes back to what we were saying last week about that. Jason Arcates was proposing that the Genesis event really did happen roughly 6,000 years ago. It wasn't the start of a world; it was the start of a new world. And like I pointed out, fundamental Christians say the Earth is only 6,000 years old.
It's a puzzle.
Yeah, it does just link the puzzle, because if you think about it, right, what's the final secret that the Freemasons going to be hiding? Even if you're level 3, you might not have understood what 6,000 years was then, or maybe someone else at your level didn't.
I did. It washed over me because I was in their little, what do you want to call it, in their little cage. So I wasn't thinking outside of the box. When they presented me the certificate, I looked at it and I didn't think twice about it. Although I did ask one of the other lodge members, why is it 6010? He says, they just work out the days and the years in a different way. That was the explanation.
Don't worry about it. It's just different.
It was quite big. I'd say it was that big, made out of really, really parchment paper, which seemed really thick and expensive, signed in the old ways, probably with feather ink and ink,
like
that.
Calligraphy, where it's all like italics. Let me ask, and if you don't mind me asking this, if you do, please tell me. You said that you had to pay membership fees, so in that 18-month period, you've got up to level 3, which they've said is Master Mason. How much money had you had to spend to get up to that level?
Well, the membership fees were not that much, about £500 a year. But what it is, for every lodge meeting that we were attending, they were making collections for the widows,
Like a church,
Yeah, Haram Mabith and all that, if you've ever read it.
Right.
The widow's son, the widow's child or whatever. So they were always collecting money for the widows. And my particular lodge, in that 1 year, we collected about, I think it was just over £60,000. But we weren't told, none of us were told where that £60,000 went. So whether it did go to charity or not, no idea.
I wonder if
it just my lodge.
I wonder if it goes like to the national sort of widow fund as opposed to the local widow fund.
It probably goes up to the National Mason Charity Fund before it goes anywhere near any widows.
I know they are pretty like.
They obviously do give money to charity, same as Jimmy Savile and all the other full-on rapists give money to charity.
That's true.
But if the money will most likely be filtered up through the organisation first,
for example,
then goes to the charity, then filtered down through their backwards pyramids, through all their administrators and all their CEOs before one single needy person sees a drip of that money. We all know that's
in the
States
fact. When we went to that lodge over there, we sort of learned a lot about where their money gets dispersed to. So, for example.
Right, you're saying we people really think I was there. I wasn't there, was I? Because people are already saying I'm a Freemason.
No, not. Be clear now. Neither am I.
You and other members of our musical collective went on an American tour, and you went to a lodge because people listen to everything we say and they do misconstrue
basically,
it.
we went to a lodge in America, and it's quite a well-established lodge in its area, and we got shown around, we got talked about all the stuff, what they do, but talking about the money side of it, where they disseminated their money and how they did it, because they call it the Widows Fund as well, but they used it for like if the children need to go to university, or if
the church has got the roof falling in,
or if you get fined for drink driving.
What if a Mason gets fined for drink driving? The fund can be used for that.
He got bailed out. We won't mention his name.
Him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scottish matey.
Yeah, but I believe he wasn't favoured much after that.
See, we won't name him, but this Scottish person that we knew who was in lodge, when we went to play in Edinburgh or to near Edinburgh, and we had some Spirit Molecule, and he actually took us to not Rosalind Chapel, but the second most Freemasonic. You weren't there, were you?
I couldn't go
no. This is the one I was there, but you weren't. And he took us to these ruins of this church, and we had the pipe with the sacred spirit molecule in. And this was after a drum and bass gig. It was at 5 o'clock in the morning, and this was a ruined church. There was grass on the floor. There was no walls. You just walked in, and we sat down there. And when the pipe was past me, I looked around, and the stones around me, they had like Maltese crosses carved deep into the stones from like the 11th century. And I'm like, where are we? And they're like, yeah, this is the second most, after, you know, everyone knows Roslin Chapel. This was the one after it. It had Knights Templar stuff, and then I did the spirit molecule, and then, wow. But yeah, so...
But Lance never signed up.
but I didn't go to the lodge. He actually went to his lodge in America. I just went to the ancient Masonic Freemason church.
Go into the lodge over there and learning about it and listening to people talking about it, their experiences, and also what I would classify as indoctrination. Like, that put me off.
Yeah, mate, our haters are going to have an absolute field day off of this conversation. I smoked DMT in a fucking Masonic church in Scotland, and you went to the lodge in America.
And learning about the initiations.
Listen, when it comes to Freemasonry, we're always very like clear in this show. Everything's a spectrum, right? You know, you Tage Powell, you had a negative experience. I know one person that watches this show that's Knights Templar and is in a lodge in the southwest of England, and he watches this show and he's like, you guys talk about stuff way above most people in my lodge's head. They're just fine. They just raise the money for charity. Nothing bad is going on here.
And I think most people are like that. However, it's when you get up to the higher echelons of that society, I suppose.
Would you say that's a fair thing to say, Tage Powell? It's probably something like the police. It's like not every policeman is a corrupt arsehole or a racist or whatever. Some of them are, but not all of them.
Not all of them. Not all of them. And there are a lot of, well, when I was part of the crap, within my lodge, I think 70% were police serving officers.
Really?
Yeah. And one of them actually very high level.
So do you think that if you looked at like the whole spectrum, do you think that your experience might have been at the more extreme end? Like you might have been unlucky that you were sort of inducted to quite an influential lodge where some more stuff was going on? Because I'm not going to lie, I know some people that are pretty nondescript people that this definitely didn't happen to, and they're quite high up in the lodge, and they're just like, yeah, it's just, you know, we're all helping each other out, and they're all service to self, and there's nothing really occult going on. And you know, I know these people, and they're proper NPCs. I don't think they know anything about the occult or anything going on, and they're just all helping each other out.
They're not telling you the truth.
You think so?
One of the yeah. They play dumb, yeah. So that's one of the things they tell you in the lodge. Don't discuss things outside of here. Speak masterfully, yeah? That's what they say.
First rule of Fight Club.
Yeah.
Fight Club.
Yeah. So, I'd question that person again if I were you.
Do you know what? This conversation just took a thought. So, say 70% of the police service in your area, you say, there's 70% of the lodge were police serving officers. That's like a big boys' club.
Yeah, sure.
What about the female police officers who aren't part of that?
Well, I mean, I know there's a certain type of Freemasonry in America that accepts women.
Yeah.
It's got a different name.
Yeah, it's not
I can't remember. Yeah, something slightly different.
They got women's Freemason lodges here as well.
In the UK as well. Okay, I didn't know. Okay, so that answers my question. That's fine. Cool.
Yeah. Well.
So I thought, do you know what? My brain went down the old institutionally bias sort of like towards the male in the police serving officers. I know it probably is already anyway because of the history of the police service and any service of like anything, you know. But I thought maybe if it's written into it, like, you know, that's pretty dark, you know. But
well, I thought it was the official rule that if you're a serving officer of the law, you're not supposed to be a member of a secret society. Is that not like part of your oath?
Yeah, prime ministers aren't supposed to go to closed meetings about it. Yeah.
Nonsense. It's all lies. Yeah. I tell you what, I was actually talking to one of them when I was there, and they were having a laugh. They said, what we do is we all get together when there's a do, and we go to a place, wreck it completely, So the owners call the police, and we turn up and we drop them home.
Wow.
We arrest
Don't tell me shit like that, man. That's just fueling my head.
It's very true. So I've got that complete. Yeah. So
Wow.
that's what they do. They go out there, cause a commotion in a place, start wrecking it, and the police get called, but it's their mates. They shove them in the back of the van and drop them home.
Wow. Nice to have a free taxi. I'm gonna ask for one.
Not surprising. Not surprising.
Right, T-Pal,
And
I'm going to crack on upstairs. Right, nice to meet you, man. Nice to chat with you as well. I'm going to carry on listening upstairs. Speak to you in a bit, guys.
All right, see you soon, Emma Beats.
See you later, though.
Sadly, we're not going to have any tunes tonight because he's got a lot of work to do. I've got a plumbing problem upstairs that he really needs to sort out. So, so this would kind of explain, you know, if it's really true that, you know, these lodges are all over the place and they're basically corrupting people in positions of power. That's why we're in clan world. Let's end it. Let's end it off together, Taper, and we'll have a little trip through clan world. I've got a couple of slides, seeing as I've got no other team members with me tonight. Where do we end up? So last week I made some comment about once you've squeezed the toothpaste out of the tube, it's like the truth.
Yeah.
You know, once a little bit pokes out, you might be able to jam that back with a toothpick. But once you've really squeezed the middle, once that toothpaste is out, it's never going back in again. And yeah, the toothpaste never goes back in the tube. So we had a couple of memes made off of last week's comment. This one's from Auntie Coviet. Watch Lance squeeze out the toothpaste every Friday night at 9 p.m. Thank you very much for that, Auntie Coviet. I tell you what, we have actually neglected the memes recently, Tage Power. I don't know if you noticed, like back end of last year, the show was almost half memes. We had fucking hundreds of them. But we slowed down a bit. You know, there's only so many memes you can get through. But we did have a variation of this here. Colgate's fluoride toothpaste, Plaque Lives Matter. Absolutely legendary. This one here is from Rise and Shine.
Can't see the screen. It's blank.
You can't see the screen?
Blank. Just completely black.
The screen's completely black?
Yeah.
That must be your screen, mate, because you should be seeing like a screen with memes and with you on as well. Get the window back up. Get your restream window back up, and then you'll see the memes. So yeah, there was a couple of Jimmy Savile memes, but like I need to play something. Only in a Freemasonic sort of like Luciferian playground would it be like this. A couple of our new viewers last week were like, "Oh, why do you have like Jimmy Savile in your show?" It's like a running joke, but since last week, I actually came across this video, and it's by a creator called Really Graceful. It's only a couple of seconds, but this, believe it or not, was he was like a high-ranking Freemason, a high-ranking knight of this and that. This was his full title. Check this out.
Being BFFs with Charles, he was appointed Officer of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire in 1972. The Queen made him a Knight Bachelor for Charitable Services in 1990, and this made his official title Sir Jimmy Savile. And he was even down with the papal knighthood, down with Pope John Paul II himself, as Savile also held the title of Knight Commander of the Pontifical Equestrian Order of St. Gregory the Great.
Gosh! Wait a minute. Knight Commander of the Equestrian Pontification of St. Gregory the Great. What a title!
They got some weird titles, I'll be honest with you.
How many aprons do you have to wear to have that title? 33 aprons right on top of each other. They go like they're sticking out here. It's just crazy.
And the gloves. Bloody hell.
So did you have to wear that kind of like regalia at any point? Yeah.
Yeah, every time there was an attendance, especially when you're in the lodge. You know, the gloves are a must. You've probably seen snooker, yeah, on television.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and you've seen the referee with the white glove and the black suit.
Yeah,
that's where it comes. That's basically where it comes from.
Well, I remember when I graduated from university and I'd already started learning about this stuff, and obviously I'm stood there. I've done my degree. I've got my honorary not doctorate, you know, honorary bachelor's degree or whatever it was, and I'm stood there with this black gown on, with the black hat and the mortarboard. Well, what's the mortarboard? What's a mortar? Who uses mortar? A mason to build.
Mason.
It's all Masonic.
Yeah,
it's all Masonic.
It's all about squares, yeah? It's all about squaring things. Instead of making them spiral, they're squaring it. So they interrupting the energy.
Yeah.
Because our natural energy is spiral.
Yeah, and toroidal dynamics, if you're watching, he'll appreciate this. We do live in a natural energy field that has been disrupted by this parasite, you know.
Yep.
Shout to Godvaj, shout to Archaics, shout to everyone that's describing this differently. The denying force, Master Lee, however you describe this, everyone's got a name for it, but you can be represented figuratively by that square or by those two opposing triangles, something synthetic put on top of our organic frequency, our organic energy pattern. Yeah, it just becomes more clear to me every day, because it seems like the more syncretic method I'm applying to all these different disciplines and schools of thought, when you can really shake off the dogma and the constraints of the different names and the different categories of how people explain this, and you forget about all that and you just look at the themes, everyone's really explaining the same thing. And it's very interesting as we move forward like this.
So, our natural cycle is spiral. Because if we look around in nature, nothing's in straight lines. Yeah. Look at the plants, look at the trees, how they grow, the flowers. They take all kinds of shape. So this controlling system has manipulated that, and they know what they're doing. They know how to do it against us, and they know how to interrupt our energies. The same as music, change from 432 to 444. Yeah, the hertz, just that 8 beats per second change interferes with our body.
It's like a schism. It's only a slight change. It's like just a slight manipulation. Actually takes just off the bandwidth of appreciation, just slightly outside. And there lies the copy, the assimilation.
Yep.
The demiurge realm.
Demiurge realm, the demonic realm. And they're demonics. That's what they are. People can call them whatever, aliens or whatever, but they're demons. They actually do exist. And they're waiting for us to mess up so they can.
I'm back.
I'm here.
I'm back. Sorry, that weird thing that happened last week, it just literally kicked me out. But I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see you as well.
You should have been able to hear me all the way through, because I'm actually speaking to you via my phone. That was very strange. Okay, so we were chatting casually about Clown World. Let me just share my screen again. What's up next? So a couple of things that people sent me this week. Here's one on the left. 33 hours inside the NHS on the brink. What a coincidence. Oh, yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. People send me this 33 shit all the time. It just doesn't stop. But on the right-hand side, I thought this was a little bit more interesting. Relax.
Yeah.
Pot temperatures have been going up and down for centuries. Now, this has been shared by like a green agenda site. They're actually using the analogy of a boiling frog. As if people don't understand this analogy. Obviously, most people don't, or maybe they know that people do. Two frogs in water. You know, everyone knows the analogy of the boiling frog, but it must be pure mockery.
Yeah, they're mocking us right in our faces, and they do this all the time. But obviously, a lot of the people are so washed out and stressed out and pressured with work, whatever. They can't see this.
They've checked out. They must have completely checked out.
Absolutely. Obviously, I wouldn't have known any of this stuff if I didn't go through the experience of the Masons. I'll be honest with you. Because I think, personally, I was meant to go on that path to touch the darkness.
Maybe that was your dark night of the soul.
Yeah. And see the truth for what it is. Had I not been in there, I don't think I'd be alive today, to be honest. I would have probably died when I was diabetic through the tablets and the medication that the doctors were giving me, yeah?
So you can actually appreciate that catalyst that was provided to you, even by the darkest path. That you started to tread the wrong path. You were inducted into something that wasn't what you thought it was, but you can take a positive from it.
Well, I think it's a blessing, really. Hopefully I can help other people if they're, in a similar situation. Which I try. always try.
No, I think that's fantastic. So we'll have a couple of laughs here. Let's have a look at this. This photo of David Beckham next to Bill Gates came out this week. And I shared it and I said no more heroes. And and I hope anyone that follows me didn't think David Beckham was a hero. I know some people probably did. The idea is that we anyone that we've seen on the screen, we need to forget about them being okay. They're all compromised. Even David Beckham.
100%.
Here he is.
Big time.
Health Chancellor Gates. Look at Health Chancellor Gates. This is the guy that's trying to. He's in charge of our health. Look at his shirt. Like, is he getting fat from eating bugs? Is it too many Beyond Burgers? Is too many Beyond Meat burgers stretching his shirt beyond the safe capacity load? His buttons are popping off. He's definitely putting on weight.
And these are the people that everyone sort of bowed down to, yeah?
Yeah. This is who we're taking advice off. So obviously it looks like something's bursting out of his shirt here, and on the right hand side, Russ Kieran has made this epic meme. It's obviously Total Recall inspired. I think is that Quaid or Quaid? He comes out of his chest. It's like Quaid. What's he called? Is he? I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, that's an amazing meme. Big shout to Russ Kieran. Oh god, the first Total Recall was a great film. There's a couple of remixes here. Inject It Like Beckham. This is from two different artists. Who is this? I think it's Auntie Coviet on the right hand side, and on the left, I can't remember who this one is. So yeah, everyone was just like, yeah, Inject It Like Beckham. What a sellout.
This is classic.
It's classic. Our memetists are great. Absolutely classic. Shout out to our new viewers. If you're not familiar with how Right Above intersperse our serious topics with stuff like this, better get used to it. This is how we do around here. So left to right first. On the left, Luke Radowski says, we are either in a mass awakening event or a total collapse of society. And Enki Musk has replied, exactly. Not like one or the other. He just said exactly. Now when I posted this text file, what I actually said was probably both happening at the same time, aka the Dark Enlightenment. Now,
I would say so.
It's like
both. Yeah, it's like a parallel rail line. It's one side and then the other side, isn't it? Really, but they never meet. So probably, I would say so. Awakening.
Do you think I see that, but I also see something like maybe everyone's going to think that the Great Awakening is happening because they're going to be exposed to, for instance, the lies and the genocide of the Soviet Union, or the fact that all that Epstein stuff was real, or the Zionist Kabbalistic banking cult that's literally been running the world, that's real too. Or we could name 5 or 6 other things. Maybe it's going to be like that's all going to be exposed and there'll be a big tribulation, but then it will sort of carry on anyway, and it will just be the next level of it, slightly repackaged. Let's recycle it all over again, because we know that this this demiurge, whatever it is, this construct, it doesn't create anything new. It just recycles what it's got before. It can't come up with anything new.
It can't because it uses our energy, yeah? It uses our energy, so we make it, whatever they need, we make it for them because they can't do it. They put out the idea and we manifest it for them. And that's how it works. It's always been like that. And they use all kinds of methods. They've got a lot of dark magic, which they use as well. I mean, hang on a minute.
You're not going to draw for some like dark magical implement, are you?
No, because when I was in the lodge, yeah, I started to notice quite a few things that were happening, and I got to get friendly with somebody that was quite high up, and it turned out that he was actually a magician as well, and out of coaxing the truth out of him in my own way, after I left the lodge, I asked him what the hell was going on and why am I feeling like the way I am? What's inside of what you guys are doing? And after a bit of coaxing, he gave me that. He said, this is what you need.
The Golden Dawn.
Yeah, he says, we follow everything in here and all your secrets that you're looking for is within this book.
Now that's what Aleister Crowley studied, right?
Yeah, and you can get this from Amazon. And I've been reading all this, for a while. I don't practice any of this, but I'm getting the knowledge out of it.
Sure.
And, yeah.
Listen, I've got Manly Pete Hall books over there. I've got the Kabbalion.
Yeah, but definitely use it.
Well, I believe that all of it is valuable. You know, I can listen to, although like I don't agree with the Christian theology, for instance. I think it's a bit of a booby trap. I can still listen to creators on YouTube that are devout Christians, and I still think they're amazing creators. And I can take what is good from that, and I can apply my filter. Like they're applying their Christian filter, I can apply my syncretist filter to that. You know, and I think, you know, from what you've told me tonight, I think this is what I now have a sort of an instant synergy with the Sikh practices that, you know, you have some gurus that came and set some examples and were exemplary avatars. But when it comes to it, you recognise that there are demigods and a pantheon of those, but there is one infinite sort of ineffable creation.
The one. Everything is one.
Which encompasses all. Which I can certainly get down with. It's very good. It's very interesting indeed. And I certainly like I've got to be honest, I really like the warrior aspect as well. We spoke about, you know, especially with the influence of inner guardians, and with, you know, with the martial arts aspect that I'm sort of involved in, not as a practitioner, as a commentator basically, but I certainly have an infinity with the ability to be spiritual and also be a warrior, and so for that to be sort of exemplified within what you've explained tonight is really quite special, I think, and you know, and some of those videos with the training and everything was really quite, it's something. I really enjoyed that.
Excellent. Right, Lance, I've got to shoot out early in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, mate. Thank you very much for tonight. It's been an amazing presentation. It's been great to have you with us.
My pleasure.
Anyway, you watch every week anyway, so I'll see you in the comments next week. Listen, Tej Pal, Sikh 101. Thank you very much, brother.
Take care, brother. Bye.
Peace be upon you. See you later on.
Rise above, generate, rise above, distinguish fear, rise above, abstract.
Okay, so everyone, let me do a bit of screen sharing because I'll just say a few goodbyes. And don't forget, next week is the customer services. Oh, Tej Pal was still on the phone. Right. So catch us next week. It's a big call-in show. We want to get really interactive for the last show before Christmas. Where's it gone? What's going on here? it's shit because I can't see anyone's comments. The comments like froze almost an hour ago. So yeah, next week we have got customer calling, customer services, midnight RAS, riseabove.tv. That's next week. The weekend after that, which will be the night before New Year's Eve, we can have a special party night, pirate radio. We can have a guest DJ. I'm trying to get another MC along. Who knows who it will be yet? It will be a surprise. We'll see you guys next week, Friday, 23rd of December, for Rise Above Customer Services.